Let's get it going, everybody. A special Sunday night watch-along of WCW Halloween Havoc 1998. Share the link. Pass it on. We got a few people joining us on the YouTubes. We got a few people joining us on the Facebook. We're trying to make the best out of a pretty sour situation in the world. We're gonna come together. You're gonna make fun of the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan. Yeah. What's up, everybody? How you doing? I'm Kevin Calvin. It's Sunday. Normally we don't join you on Sundays. It's a pay-per-view. I'm here, Robert. Let's check the microphone. Let's do the microphone tap test.
Yeah, I hear you tapping on the microphone.
All right, that's good. That's a good thing. That means the microphone works. What's up, Robert? We're just a little bit here after 7 Central, 8 Eastern. We're gonna watch in a few minutes here. WCW Classic, depending on how you want to talk about it. It has all the different WCW things to it. Big name stars, some big matchups, and some weird bumbling management that makes people remember it in a very, very odd way. This is a pretty memorable show at the height of the Monday Night Wars, right?
It certainly is. I think this is peak Monday Night Wars, and it's one of the turning point shows of the Monday Night Wars, for better or worse.
We get our proper graphics going here on the screen. We can't be doing this. I mean, you dress up the screen real pretty and real nice for us here. I got to make it look good. I got to make us look right and real here.
If it doesn't look good, what's the point?
Especially it's Halloween, though. Let's touch on a couple more things and let you guys fire up your WWE Network here. We'll go in about a minute or two with WCW Halloween Havoc. You want to go and look for that in the WCW tab. If you just search it, it should be right there. We'll get going on that, but we do have a couple of stories to touch on before we get into this, and we'll have more coverage of these as the weekend goes on. Big night for SmackDown, season premiere. Ratings weren't super great, but they weren't super down either. Very noteworthy show with Daniel Bryan returning. We got to see a little bit of some people on the Thunderdome used to kind of tease someone, and that someone is Goldberg.
I think I will admit that I think all sites blew that out of proportion. Goldberg was just one of like several people who popped up in the Thunderdome because they finally used the Thunderdome to, put legends on the screen. I'm surprised they haven't done that prior to.
All right, Russell Haddock's a big fan of the show. Thank you so much, Russell, saying I have a Halloween Havoc 1998 set up on my phone, and you guys on my phone. It's pretty cool. I like the 2-screen experience. It's what we're going for. People are excited about Kevin and Robert. Share the link. Yeah. Are we skipping Raven versus that guy? No, we're going to watch the whole card from beginning to end.
Well, that's not, I mean, if you mean that guy, I mean, he's wrestling Jericho.
Yeah, he's wrestling Jericho. Yeah, come on. We skip a Chris Jericho match? Come on.
I don't know if Benoit is on the card. I wouldn't imagine why he wouldn't be. I think he should be, but who knows?
I think Benoit might be on the card. No, Chris. I don't believe Benoit. Benoit doesn't take on Raven in this card. No,
not in this card. You're thinking that's a different WCW pay-per-view in '98.
Yeah, so let's talk about this Goldberg story. More news kind of coming together about that from our friends across the pond, inside the ropes in the UK, reporting that WWE chairman Vince McMahon doesn't really care less. He could care less about what fans think of Goldberg. A lot of fans have a negative opinion of Goldberg recently, especially when he defeated the beloved Fiend character and took the belt off him at the most recent Saudi Arabia event earlier this year. And some people citing this as a possibility that, Vince understands that Goldberg still brings in ratings and still wants to have that big match with Roman Reigns down the line, or potentially a rematch with Braun Strowman.
I think that's the Roman Reigns match needs to happen. You can't announce a match for WrestleMania and then not do said match. I do know the report that you're speaking of. I mean, maybe it's a thing that's blown out of proportion. Maybe Vince didn't say that. I don't know. Like, I'm not in Vince McMahon's office. I don't know what he's saying to people. But really, Goldberg was just on a screen the way I'm on a screen right now, and you're on a screen. So it's like
that's enough, man. It's enough to get the internet talking, dude. It's enough to get the internet talking.
I thought like if he's going to be on the show, that's not a thing I want to see currently, but it's going to happen eventually. We know that he's signed with them for 2 matches per year for a couple more years.
So he's got more matches left on his deal.
You know for a fact it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they're, certainly WrestleMania time would be the time to utilize them if you're not going to Saudi Arabia anytime soon. We do have news from...
They do plan on going to Saudi Arabia for next, like, February or so.
It seems a good... so February of this year coming up?
So this year coming up. It's still on the schedule. Doesn't mean it won't change.
Yeah, doesn't mean it won't change.
Just on the schedule.
New Japan Pro Wrestling had a big weekend here, kind of closing out G1 Climax and getting the developments from that'll lead to Wrestle Kingdom, their WrestleMania, which occurs that first big weekend of January at the Tokyo Dome. Easily one of the biggest wrestling events of the year around the world. Last year's Wrestle Kingdom took place over 2 nights. And a lot of people like this because it kind of spread out the show. A lot of people didn't think they would repeat this, but they are. Tokyo Dome is booked. Wrestle Kingdom, January 4th and 5th, 2021. This will be 2 nights of action. The event was notable last year for the retirement of Japanese legend Jushin Thunder Liger, as well as the Double Gold Dash, which saw the unification of the heavyweight and intercontinental championships. So what do you think of New Japan running 2 nights again at the Tokyo Dome?
It is what it is. They're doing better than we are.
Yeah, in terms of attendance, they have a couple thousand people coming.
No, they're running. They're running close to normal.
Oh, they're running. Are they running at full capacity now?
It's as long as we can keep it going. I'm all for normalcy. I don't know if I love the idea of now making it a routine to do every New Japan show. Every time we do Wrestle Kingdom, it's going to be 2 nights. I don't know if I'm down with that. But we'll see what happens here.
We had WrestleMania 2 nights, and some people think that might be a repeat.
I don't want to see it again.
You don't want to see it? I was down for that. I like that.
I don't want to see it again. That was
all right. You don't want to see it again.
That was a special
Go ahead.
occurrence because of the way the world was. We don't need that twice.
People asking, I just got here minutes away. We just wanted to wait here about we're about 8 minutes in the show.
Yeah, we haven't started yet, Nick.
We have not started WCW Halloween Havoc yet. Share that link, everybody. Pass it along. Tag your friends, especially if you have those friends that only liked old school wrestling and they're like, I don't want to watch this new stuff. This is a show for them. And we're just going to watch and react and have some fun. This isn't like a normal show that we do. This is just an extra bonus for you guys. For everyone over on YouTube, thank you so much. If you're watching there, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Get your comments on screen. We'll be seeing you guys there as well. And just pass it along. That's all we ask. Maybe tag your friends here in the comments if you can as well. So we'll just get into it. We'll have some fun. Talk about this card. Once again, this is WCW Halloween. Is it WCW NWO? We had to do that. Like they would do the preface of how big NWO was.
They were doing the WCW NWO stuff, But it's a good show. It's a really fun show. There will be a cluster or two.
Cluster what? Are we allowed to call things clusterfucks anymore in wrestling? Or is that a no-no word?
Maybe maybe Joey Janela owns that. I
don't know. And people with different takes here. Are you still safe from the coronavirus? How was your day? Kevin Davis, thank you for asking me. Kevin, I'm good. I am about a week removed from being in Milwaukee, which was a red zone in the Midwest, but I felt very, very safe in the way that things were handled. I feel good. I hope everyone out there is watching good, and I hope this content is a fun thing for you. If you're watching this on demand, this is pretty cool as well. So thank you for watching this. If you're enjoying this audio on demand, we are going to put this up on the podcast feed, launching some additional shows and some video content. So the best thing I can tell you about our stuff coming up here, and get ready about 30 seconds. We'll get ready to go here. So make sure you're ready and we'll count you down. But on Facebook, you like our page, you need to follow it as well, so you get the notifications when we go live. YouTube, subscribe and turn those notifications on, the little bell signal, so you get when we're live. And then subscribe to the podcast. You can listen to it all the time on demand. Bunch of different interviews we just dropped. James Storm made a lot of news in our interview that we just dropped with him, kind of talking about his contract status and what his future is in wrestling and the things he wants to do. A very, very candid interview with him that you can check out there on the podcast feed as well. So let's get into it here. This is from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. WCW had many noteworthy cards on there. This one pretty noteworthy. I will have a no commentary on this because I have to watch it on one computer at the same time with you, Robert. So I have to be able to hear you at the same time. So you'll be able to hear some of the funny commentary, different things and stuff like that, and we'll just kind of like watch the action and enjoy it. There's some noteworthy things on this. Obviously, this card is headlined by the second Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior match, and WCW definitely trying to do some things to catch up with WWE at the time because they were on the losing end of that. Despite having, this show features several Hall of Fame guys. This is Bret Hart versus Sting. This is Warrior versus Hogan. This is Nash versus Hall. This is the Steiner brothers fighting each other. That's a big card.
This is an amazing card. Off the bat here, I immediately understand why they lost the feed when they were on pay-per-view because this is 3 hours and 15 minutes long.
Yeah, so this is the infamous show where once they got to the main event, which is the WCW World Title match between Goldberg and Diamond Dallas Page, right before that match started, which was a big selling point because Goldberg was red hot. This is him at his most popular, and also this is the most well-reviewed match on the show in terms of interest. A lot of pay-per-view subscribers who paid money to watch the show. This is back in the old pay-per-view days. They're paying probably $34 around that time, $30. Didn't get this match, and there is hundreds and if not thousands of people that wanted their money back, and then they had to air this the next night on Nitro. A very, very embarrassing thing. A lot of mismanagement. And I know there were a lot of angry people in Turner Broadcasting and Warner Media when that went down.
I think I'm also a subscriber to the idea these days that the narrative is very like, oh, they were out of control and everything's going downhill. It's like, I think a lot of that, and my generation, let's be honest, we grew up with the rise and fall of WCW documentaries. I
read the book. It was a great book.
We learned to know that this was a train wreck, but I don't think that that's fair. I mean, history is written by the winners, but I don't know if that's necessarily fair.
Okay. All right. So you're coming to the defense of WCW. All right, let's get to it, man. Let's start it off here. You want to do the countdown? Will we count down from 10? What do we do? 10?
Yeah, we can count you guys down from 10. We are, of course, go to the network, go to Halloween Havoc. Make sure you're at 00, 00, 00, 00.
All the zeros.
Sit tight because we're about to be here for a good 3 hours. So let's do this in 10, 9,
8, 7, 6, 5. The next number is 4, 3, 2, 1. Play. There we go. All right. We have press play. And we get this weird intro of all of the spookiness of the Ultimate Warrior being merged on screen with a very, very scared Hulk Hogan. Whoa.
Hot take, I don't love chicken shit heel Hogan.
You don't love it or you do?
No, I don't. It seems so dumb to me. What are you afraid of, bro?
The mirror! I remember the mirror bit. You remember when they did this mirror bit? There's a name for that mirror bit where you project someone on a mirror. It's a very old vaudeville trick that they did in this. And then they also had the One Warrior Nation where he had the disciple or something like that. Was supposed to be.
Well, he had, I guess, stolen the disciple from Hulk Hogan. Disciple is, of course, Brutus the Barber Beefcake
with a really long beard and really jacked up.
Yeah, and he took them and formed the OWN, the One Warrior Nation. OWN, get it? Because, OWN.
It's the NWO, but backwards. Sponsored by Snickers. Oh, yeah, look at this jammed arena. You love these. Remember these old wide shots they would do and pyro at the beginning? You don't see these as much in wrestling. They don't do these big wide shots like this.
Well, yeah, this is a different time. I love the aesthetic of WCW shows. I always thought WWF was better production-wise, but WCW was no slouch, especially in this generation. And my, the Snickers logo is everywhere.
It's everywhere. Snickers getting their money's worth now. Snicker, longtime sponsor of pro wrestling shows, right? Longtime sponsor of pro wrestling shows.
Yeah, I believe they still sponsor Mania.
Yeah, they're on Mania almost every year. And around the world. This is Tony Schiavone always proclaiming this is the biggest show of all time.
This is the greatest moment in the history of our sport.
the greatest moment, one of the greatest nights in the history of our proud sport.
But like, I think Schiavone gets it.
Mm.
You know, like, this is a pretty good trio: Schiavone, Brain, and Mike Tenay. I feel like Mike Tenay, especially now, like if you're a fan of the last 5 years or so, you don't really know Mike Tenay because you won't even know him from his TNA stuff. Mike Tenay is like the ultimate smart mark fan.
He literally got hired because he was good at reading the Observer for a long time and like knew everyone's name and stuff like that. But he had history with luchadors because he really knew the luchadors. That's kind of why they had him.
He called the AAA When Worlds Collide show, which is a very famous show. Got a lot of people their jobs in WCW.
We got Michael texting in saying DDP versus Goldberg is a match of the night. That's when he's looking forward to.
Yeah, it really is. Not to bury the lead, but it's one of the only times that you're going to get to say Goldberg had the match of the night. Shortwear.
Imagine the attitudes that people have too. AJ Harris is with us. We had some fun with AJ on a previous show, our show from Thursday, in which we almost broke up his marriage because I said I wanted to see pictures of his wife.
No. He
Daniel Bryan.
We didn't almost break up his marriage. He offered his wife, and we said we're not that kind of interactive show.
My wife. Look at Bobby Heenan just having a goof, wearing some weird like swinger mask on the screen.
Yeah, I feel like this is Heenan wanting to be Heenan, but the bloom's off the rose a little bit. Like people aren't playing around with him as much.
And he gets his little bit. Oh, here we have the Nitro Girls are on pay-per-view, dude. Remember the Nitro Girls?
Yeah, I remember the Nitro Girls.
Oh yeah, I remember the Nitro Girls. Well, does your adolescence line up with? Oh my God, they have hot girls on TV, and I'm watching.
Not these hot girls. My adolescence lines up with
like you're like early 2000s then.
Yeah, so my adolescence lines up with like, oh wow, Edge and Lita are having sex on television.
It was like, this is tame. Just girls dancing is just tame to you.
Yeah.
We need a live sex celebration. That doesn't do enough for your perverted mind to feel this. And
I like that.
Are they dancing? Because this is just there's choreography to what they're doing. But is this dancing? Because like half of them are just like standing in the back, and now they're like
it is like, in the 2000s. Like this is straight up like Britney Spears, oops, they did it again.
Yeah. Okay, so there's some fun to what they're doing, and it's they did the lean back as a cool move. All right, that's fun, right? I can see if you're a fan of like burlesque.
I think it's very of the scene, like of the time.
Yeah, like, but if you were a fan of that music and you saw them there, would you enjoy that? Like, if you were someone's girlfriend and you came to WCW Halloween Havoc, you'd just be like, is this just blatantly sexual, or is this like fun, like a dance squad at an NBA game?
No, I would equate it to an NBA game. Yeah. I think that's unfair to say that it's like, overtly sexual.
William T. Wage is saying he misses these girls. People feeling the Nitro Girls.
I mean, the Raw Underground girls, they tried to give it to you, and you were like, no, let's not do that.
We're not going to have it. Then everyone just wanted to see them fight. You may not have Raw Underground to begin with here.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Yeah, a lot of people joining us on Facebook and YouTube. Don't forget to tag your friends here in the comments. Hit that like button as well. As we get our opening bout.
I think that's not a thing.
Oh, like, we get Rick Steiner. Dude, this is Rick Steiner had that really weird promo in the lead up to this with Chucky. It was the Bride of Chucky tie-in they did because it was like, I guess it was under AOL Time Warner or whatever, the big media conglomerate they were tied to.
I don't know if they need to be under the same umbrella to want to do like, a crossover.
Yeah, this is and look at the airbrush leather jacket too. Beware of the dog.
I love stuff like that.
Buff Bagwell's here. Was Buff Bagwell wearing FUBU, dude? You know it's 98 when you have a dude who's wearing a backwards leather racing cap and FUBU and has the articulated beard facial hair of like a pitcher in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
We're all sick of him. Yeah. Are you sick of Big Papa Pump? And
I haven't seen Big Papa Pump in quite some time, so no, I can't say that I have.
What do you think of Buff Bagwell at this height? He was always like a perennial player in WCW. He was never top of the card, but was always like in the mix. American males, different stuff. I know he's involved in a big angle later in the show. I think in this one.
Bagwell's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
saying he's gonna have Rick's back. We know where this is going. We know
that's obviously Stevie Wonder can see where this is going, but that's okay. Like,
that old trope. I love the background here too with the big Halloween like haunted house graphics they had. Even though they repeated the set a few times, but it was always fun. This looked fun. I remember you could build stuff like this on the video games. It always looked really cool.
Looking at that, Rick. If you
Rick,
don't look in his eyes.
Look at my eyes, Robert. Look at my eyes while I lie to your face. Look at my eyes while I lie to you, Robert.
He's gonna watch his back, Kevin.
Are you gonna have my back, or are you just gonna ride with Fightful? Is that what you're gonna do? What are you gonna do, Robert?
I am a free agent.
Mm-hmm. People asking where's the Havoc stream?
Whoever needs me, I've got their back.
I have someone asking, where is the Havoc stream? We're not going to stream a show we don't own. Just you stream it on another screen and just put us on your phone and we'll say some silly stuff to you and you watch a show like we're watching it with you, man. That's what we're going for. We have to have virtual companionship. I had a 3-hour Zoom drinking call with some buddies last night. Loved it. It was a joyous time. You got to make lemonade out of shitty lemons, I guess, right?
Are you saying you have friends other than me? That's not allowed.
That's not allowed?
No.
Robert, you work for other wrestling websites that aren't WrestleZone.
That's work, Kevin.
That's work. I'm not allowed to have friends who don't have the first and last name Robert DeFilo.
That's right.
That's right. All right, here we go. First match in the card. Raven coming out with the real cast of fog there. Oh, and they shake the pumpkin. When someone comes out to the ring, they shake the pumpkin there. That's kind of cool.
So right off the bat, you're going to notice the change in theme music because Raven comes out to a very, very, very generic version of Nirvana's Come As You Are.
Oh, yeah. This isn't the original theme music he had, right? Because some of that studio music they don't own. So they have to edit around it. I know that's the number one complaint that people have with
You're going to hear that same thing for Jericho in a minute.
Yeah. People thumbing down. Remember people used to do that when they knew they were on camera? They would just thumb down stuff. Also, look at the amount of signs. There are so many signs in the crowd. You don't see that many signs at wrestling shows anymore.
No, you don't.
Mind you, we don't have physical shows in 2020. But
I hate the fact that they put the Break the Walls Down theme in. Jericho has a generic version of Pearl Jam's Even Flow. And I get that you don't own the very generic Even Flow, but you could have done a little bit of a ditty to get some.
This is Monday Night Jericho too. This is Monday Night Jericho. He's world television champion. Coming out with those yellow and black tights here. All right, who's the hottie in the red and black hoodie there?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. There's a lot of bros at this too. This is the height of I don't
even think it's I think it's very early in the era of the bro.
Mm-hmm. Gotta know, bro.
This is very weird that I never understood this match because they're both heels, and it's not a thing that you would see.
And they're opening with this too. People still talking about the people in the chat are still talking about the Nitro Girls. Raven's been losing. Raven always talking like he's reading a legal document from a lawyer. I have been persecuted for being someone in wrestling. Big crowd at this show. They drew 10,663 fans to the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas, underrated wrestling town. Never think it's a huge wrestling town, but they always get huge crowds because it's a destination travel and city. And now AEW kind of following suit here by running their Double or Nothing shows there, where they were going to run Double or Nothing there this year. Their first big show was there.
Now he's just leaving because he says I wasn't informed about this match.
I'm just going to leave. I'm going to leave this title opportunity. I'm going to leave this title match here. Jericho's going to talk trash on him here. Real kinky permed up hair from Raven here. And then Jericho with the ponytail up top. He was doing like the ponytail up top. There was some popular tennis player at the time that was doing that. I think that's where he took it from.
I like that they're seemingly giving Jericho an opportunity to become a babyface.
Mm-hmm. Chris Jericho equals rear ends in the seats. Don't go out there and say ass. Hogan has to say it an hour and a half later after you. You don't get to say ass. You get to say rear ends. We're 13 minutes in the show, and there's been no wrestling just yet.
That's amazing. We've been watching this for 13 minutes already.
No, and no one has been wrestling yet. Not even a single headlock, Robert. Not even a lousy wrist lock. James Fernando asking how far we are into the pay-per-view. We're about...
I would go about 12:55 in.
Yeah, dude. Even if you're a few seconds behind us, you won't be too far off.
I love Jericho's gear.
Oh, the black and yellow? It looks cool.
I also love Raven's gear. I'm a big fan of the...
Oh, Jericho whipping him with a leather jacket. That doesn't look like it... Leather jackets are heavy. That could hurt.
Yeah.
Raven leaping off his feet to take a clothesline. Like he was... Oh, and here's Jericho's... He would do that a lot in WCW. So he would do the big... Because he knew he was smaller in comparison to the other top of the card guys. He would always do some power stuff to like make himself look stronger in comparison to some of the cruiserweight
guys, but it's also cheeky. Like
it's cheeky. It's very cheeky.
He knows.
Yeah.
It's not like now where he's like legit a big guy.
Oh yeah, he's so much bigger now, right? He definitely.
No, he's just bigger by comparison. He's not any bigger. Like
no. Just using ring steps now, you can do that?
Yeah, we see that regularly.
And they're doing a lot of Dutch angle shots here where the camera distracts with everything they're doing. That's kind of different.
It is a different cameraman. You know, it's not the Kevin Dunn that we're used to.
Who's the referee here? Who's the referee here? Oh, this is like that cruiserweight mid-card stuff they do in WCW where you would just see them go for broke in like a 5-minute match. They would just do a ton of stuff.
I don't blame them.
What? You know you don't blame them. When they're on a show where everyone's there to see like Hulk Hogan and like Ultimate Warrior. They are, and Goldberg and guys like that who are going to do a little bit, you know. But these guys would do so much in these cruiserweight matches. They would just go for broke. Here's Raven trying to get whatever momentum he had back. Who is the baby face here?
Neither one of them.
I know. Isn't that ridiculous?
No, they're both cool and like they could get a babyface reaction if they need to. So I guess they're just going to play it by ear.
Mm-hmm. I remember playing this arena quite often on NWO Revenge.
Revenge is a great game.
Holds up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's easily the best WCW licensed title. But here's the thing. In the decade of WCW, they only had about 4 or 5 games. Not 4 or 5, but about 7 games released. And Revenge is easily the best of the bunch.
You've played a little bit of the new 2K Battlegrounds. What do you think of that? I haven't touched it at all.
I have played 2K Battlegrounds. Here's a little behind the scenes. Maybe a review will be coming of that game to this website.
Has it been out like almost a month now?
It's been a shush, Kevin. I know it's been almost a month.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, like that's how long it would take me to even like really get into a game.
Well,
when I did play them,
I keep wanting them to like take some time to improve some things. You know, I want to give them that advantage because there are some early flaws, and you know they've had a hard time as of late. So
true. I want the 2K20 game was 2K20 was
awful. I mean, it's not as bad as 2K20.
No,
like that you can never get that. That was just a bad game, a bad time. Everything was bad there.
All right, so we already have some people leveling up on 2K Battlegrounds already. I hear there's a lot of like in-game stuff you have to buy.
That's kind of why I don't like. That's
Yeah.
the thing I don't like about it is they make you. It's so based on microtransactions. It's just lame.
Jeff Krupp saying, you guys think it's weird that WCW didn't have more games in their existence? Well, here's the thing. I think video games at the time, it was something where you could put out a few games a year, and sometimes you'd have different games on different platforms too. You know, you'd have games
Yeah,
that
like WWF, like they were definitely behind the curve because WWF by 1998 had released well over a dozen video games. Whereas
I think that was a
WCW,
licensing thing too. It was kind of like when the licenses hit.
yeah,
You know?
I think WWE is just better.
Ooh, big back suplex. Very, very fun
shit.
move. I enjoy that move when a guy gets put in a headlock and they just do a big back suplex. I want to see more of that.
Yeah, I would like to see more wrestling as well.
Who is the babyface? Chris Jericho's trying to take off the turnbuckle here, and the referee's just letting him do it. Raven is in for a good time here, coming up with the turnbuckle exposed, Robert.
Ah, they teased you.
You got bamboozled. Oh, pop-up powerbomb. You think, oh, this is going to cost Jericho something here.
Well,
he took that right on the noggin. He took that right on the noggin. That's a big 2 count, Robert. It's a big 2 count. First, you got to take a sip. Every time there's a 2 count, got to take a sip. Take a sip on them 2 counts.
Damn, I don't have a beverage.
You don't have beverage?
I did not think I had
Sorry, I got you here for a couple hours and you aren't hydrated? That's not loud. Ridiculous statements here. Can we get SummerSlam or WWE Backlash? People want us to do goofy stuff with food again, man.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe next year is the best I can give you for that.
Robert not wanting to do it because Robert would have to make all the different video game stuff. We'll talk about it. We should definitely do some gaming stuff. Yeah.
Right now, I can only give you what I've already given you, and I want to give you what I've already
Walls of Jericho. Raven going to get out of it here? Oh, he got the ropes there. Got the ropes. He always does that stand-up where the guy has more ability to climb over the ropes and stuff like that. Robert, you got Steam, though. Is that the way I should start gaming now? Is it steaming up there?
If you have a proper device for it.
I need the controller, though, don't I?
I wouldn't advise gaming on Steam if you have just, like, a generic laptop, you know? Like, you need the power.
I need the power of, like, a desktop computer to do that?
Doesn't have to necessarily be a desktop. Oh, does Raven go in here?
Uh-oh. Even Flow DDT. I do like when I watch these old classic shows and I don't remember who won the match. Because there is that fun to it, right? Do you remember who won the match?
I love, not knowing who's going to win.
Oh, big roll up here. Tried it. The crowd's on board for these near falls, man.
Oh, low blow.
The ref just saw him low blow. Is the match over?
No, the referee didn't see it.
Big German suplex. How did he not get disqualified?
He didn't see it.
How did he not see it? It was right in front of him.
He wasn't looking, Kevin. He's not good at his job. Oh, it's Canyon. Oh, there goes Canyon.
Who better than Canyon to take that bump? Oh, it went for the DDT into the Lion Tamer. That's pretty cool. That's a cool finish. That's a fun finish. Like where they tease.
That was like innovative back then.
It was fun,
I enjoyed that.
Jericho clicking his heels when he jumps, making the referee hold his hand up again. A third time. Made the referee hold his hands up 3 times. What is he messing with the ref for? All right, so we get the replay. Remember, they love doing these big replays in WCW back in the day too. How do you not lose a match when you get slingshotted into exposed?
I think I enjoyed the near falls because it's like both of these heels suck and they can't put anybody away.
Yeah, I would say, in terms of a heel match, that they try to make this interesting. Like, who's going to try and cheat their way to win this match? And Raven tried it. It failed, and Jericho took advantage of it. Fun opener. Better. I mean, not to say I thought it was going to be bad, but it was just kind of confusing me to think, who am I supposed to root for,
I really enjoyed that.
That was fun. They always love breaking down what you just saw. That was a sports-oriented thing they did. Yeah, and there was always sponsored by Wendy's, something like that. I was watching one of the Nitros lead up to this, and they had the Wendy's the spicy chicken replay. So, also on the show, we'll get Juventud Guerrera versus Disco Inferno if you want more kind of cruiserweight mid-card action.
That's our first New World Order theme song of the night.
None of my audio is coming through of me watching this feed. It better not. I can hear it in my ears.
Your audio never comes through.
Good. We want to keep it that way so that we can stay on the internet and not violate a single copyright. Man, look at the signs. People really had signs back in the way. We got NWO. We got people with their markers out. I always hated the signs where it was someone who had like a gigantic sign that just said their name.
That guy's having the time of his life. This is like his moment.
Oh, the dude with his NWO shirt on. Here comes Eric Bischoff with a fresh haircut.
I'm not a fan. I hate this look of Eric Bischoff.
Why don't you hate this look of Eric Bischoff?
I don't know. It just looks like very like
with the leather jacket and everything.
I don't know. It just
Hulkster still jacked here. Hulk coming out, still looking jacked as ever. When he had the Fu Manchu with the black beard.
Well, how are you supposed to know he's a heel if he doesn't have the black beard?
But everyone has facial hair like that where they grow. That is an odd thing. I have Irish cousins. They have jet black hair, but then their hair kind of grows red as it gets closer to their chin. Impeach Bischoff and Liz. Is Elizabeth is part of the NWO, right?
Yeah, she's with them because Macho still.
Oh,
well, Macho. I think actually she might be separate from Macho, but with Bischoff and Hogan. She always ends up with Hogan.
She ends up with Hogan?
She always ends up with Hogan. How does that work?
I guess Hulk made a phone call. That's why. Because Hulk made a phone call. That's why that happens. Yeah. Other people texting with different thoughts here. You guys are with us live. Go ahead and get your comments on screen. What do you guys think of this classic show? Some people saying R.I.P. Canyon. Yes, great Canyon. Great wrestler.
We're going to say I want this show, unfortunately.
Other people saying, I prefer Raven over Johnny Polo and Scotty Flamingo. I'm pretty sure Raven prefers that as well. If you remember his mid-90s WWE stuff.
Like, you know what I want? I want to see some Johnny Polo.
This is a question. Always a big fan of the show. Is Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff got this promo about the Ultimate Warrior coming up later tonight. James Espanto Fernando. Right. Says Big Kev, did you have hair like Jericho back in the day? Well, I was in high school when this came out. I went to a boys' Catholic high school, so I didn't get to have cool hair. I even wanted to have the Dutch boy, which in 1998 was very, very popular. Like the bowl, kind of like the
I can see
hair down the middle, or you had to go frosted tips. A lot of people had frosted tips back in the day. You would put a lot of product in your hair. I did none of that. I couldn't have any fun hair. My mom and dad were not having it. Me watching wrestling was pushing it, and listening to Korn and Limp Bizkit and Metallica was pushing it.
Oh, you were pushing it. You were edgy for your religion.
I was edgy in my room and in a non-public way. I was allowed to be edgy in that way.
You were edgy for your family. I've seen you with your Dane Cook hair.
I did have some Dane Cook hair, mid-2000s.
I'm not a fan because I think it's I'm just so used to you.
You're so used to me bald and bearded. Just like Hulkster, bald is beautiful. NWO White.
Yeah,
he just kind of cuts. I'm not saying he cuts bad promos. He's an underrated promo. I think Hulk. We forget how interesting his promos were, right?
I think it's very cool to crap on Hogan.
All right, I get
laugh, but you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean, and I don't think Hulk will ever be regarded in the way that he once was. You know, like this guy was.
I'm not even saying that. I'm not even going there. I'm just going.
Oh, he's going back to the old point in the middle of his hand. This is where the power lies.
Kevin.
Yeah, I always love that.
Right here. The power lies right here in this pressure point of your palm.
Right there, right in the middle of your palm, not like on your pinky. Like right in
not
here.
On your pinky. It's not here. It's not here. It's not back here. It's here.
So it's not on my wrist, right?
Yeah.
It's here?
Correct.
That's where I gotta have the power?
That's where the power lies. Correct.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, so this show is 27 minutes in. And they didn't have anyone wrestle until 12 minutes.
You wonder why this crap went over 15 minutes. Do we really need a Hulk Hogan promo here?
Well, I mean, Hulk was a big selling point for the show. He was still
you already got our money. What are you
they're doing Nitro stuff on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, like what are you doing?
Oh, they blurred a sign. Did you see them blur a sign there? Did you see them blur that sign out? What did that sign say?
Oh, I want to watch it.
I want to know what that sign said.
I want to get like a VHS copy now, just because like that's crazy.
Oh, and they also love doing this in WCW where they would like shoot to people in the crowd that would like yell at the camera all the time. I missed that. That is something.
Imagine that people actually having fun at a show. Like
WWE needs to do that more. I mean, the Thunderdome is fun. Like that shows that fans are a big currency of the business and have been under regarded in that. Oh, dude, we got Ming Haku coming out here to wreck somebody.
Me some Ming. This dude is so cool.
Legit, one of the toughest guys in wrestling ever. Like a guy who could have had an MMA career. Like. At the height of
I feel like he's so chill though. Like he's probably the most chill dude.
A lot of people NWO face paint. No Halloween costumes in the crowd.
That's too much. You're gonna sit for 4 hours.
You ever see those people that show up to shows like in full Macho Man regalia? And I was just like, that can't be. I mean, that's fun for a little bit, but that can't be fun for the whole show.
Hot take. I don't like that. Like I feel like. When wrestling turned into, I'm going to go to a show to be
seen
more over than the wrestlers. Like, I'm not a fan.
Formerly Adam Bomb in WWE in the 90s, Wrath is now coming to the ring, looking jacked as ever. He can barely stay in this singlet, man. Look at that.
I'm here for it, Kevin.
Look at the dude. Do you see that dude in the overalls with a WCW baseball cap on?
I mean, even in Vegas, like they're attracting.
I'm Lodi's girl. It's a sign I just saw.
I love that.
If you guys are having fun, go ahead and if you're with us live, go ahead and hit the like button, guys. I know we have a couple people watching here. People asking who else was Robert, were you a heavy metal kid? I said I was a heavy metal kid in 1998.
I feel like if you don't know that, I'm a very, very like extreme alternative for lack of a better word. Like Foo Fighters are my favorite band.
Foo Fighters. Did you watch the Save Our Stages set they did last night on YouTube?
I saw that. I did not get to watch it because. I went to sleep and then the G1 and then
G1's over with. That just ended.
Bless Kota Ibushi,
big win for him. He'll have his hopefully his big crowning moment at Tokyo Dome, so that'll be fun.
I think that if we've learned nothing from this year, it's because Kota Ibushi didn't win the belt, and that's why this year went to shit.
Kota Ibushi can save us. He is the wrestling god. He can save us from all this strife.
I just think we need to put our faith in Kota Ibushi.
Oh, dude, they're gonna wreck each other.
Wrath, as Biggie Langston would say.
Dude, he just went and did he opened the match with a flying clothesline off the top rope. 7-foot guy here.
Big meaty men slapping meat, Kev.
Because you understand, this is where the big boys play, Robert.
It is.
All right, but then they also have cruiserweights. They were also known for the cruiserweights here. There was like a wealth of big dudes in the mid card for WCW as well. Your Ice Trains, Scott Flash Norton's, Ming, Wrath.
I wasn't expecting to hear the name Scott Flash Norton tonight. Is Scott Flash Norton on this show?
I don't think he's on this show, no. But he was one of those guys that he was super big in Japan and would come over for some hits with WCW and had to deal with them as well. Also, these on the apron shots that WCW like to do as well. They're shooting on the apron into the ring.
Yeah, they have unique camera work, and I think now that I'm older, I appreciate that.
At the time, it was sort of annoying because they were like the first one to do like a ton of cuts live.
Well, everything I see from WCW, especially back then, was just low budget WWE to me.
But now it looks different because every WCW has a certain style that's kind of settled in now, and you see this and it looks different. Also seeing a show that isn't in HD. This they've probably remastered this a bit, but seeing a show that has that dated look to it, the colors, the hats, the clothing, the crowd. There's something fun about that, and it is one of those things that makes having the network really cool. It becomes
a snapshot in time.
Yeah,
you can look at the crowd and go, "Oh man, look at this guy!" It's so 90s. It's although I will say, after watching The Collective and several other things, the mullets are back, and that's amazing.
Are you telling me there was people wearing mullets at the independent?
There were people wrestling with mullets, bro.
Wrestlers are trying to get mullets to come back. I don't know if mullets.
I mean, Rihanna's got a mullet. This thing, it's happening.
It's happening?
It's happening.
Dude, I can barely grow hair. I got to grow a mullet now?
I have strongly considered it. My hair naturally grows into a mullet anyway, so that's just saving me time.
What if I do a rat tail? What if I just grow a rat tail?
I would be very concerned.
That's very 1998. If you were a rat tail kid in my school, in grade school, you were trouble. That was the haircut of a kid who was poorly monitored.
That's amazing.
Look at the finesse here from the 7-footer. Big Uranagi.
Adam Bomb just dropping a rock bottom better than The Rock. What is this?
He was never the most graceful guy, but he definitely had the power.
I gotta think Ming wins here with the tongue and death grip.
I think in Wrath goes.
You're not lifting.
Pump handle slam. Ming don't want to go with him here. He doesn't want to go for this. Wrath taking a long time to set this one up.
Oh, he got the meltdown.
Oh, that was brutal. Pump handle slam. Wrath wins it.
All right.
It wasn't the best match in the world. This is a match.
Got it done quickly. I appreciate that. I respect that.
Ref looking like a ref, looking like just a dad who's angry to pick up his kids after school. The meltdown, because he's Wrath, and the meltdown because he used to be Adam Bomb.
He's got a atomic bomb.
Oh, we cut backstage here, WCW.com, because they were very into the internet wave here. We have the Cruiserweight champion Billy Kidman talking to fans.
On the internet, communicating with the audience.
Yeah, look at that.
Dial-up modem, 56K, baby.
Dude, there's no way this looked good on the internet on a 56K modem.
Oh no, you weren't getting feed of this. You're just badly talking to Billy Kidman, playing this through real media player.
All right, this is fun, dude. You having fun watching this?
I am. I'm surprised at how little wrestling there has been in 40 minutes.
We got some Nitro Girls.
Again?
Do we have Nitro Girls? Oh, we don't.
No, we have Disco.
This is Disco
not Nitro Girl.
Well, that was just come on. That music coming out that sounded like a Nitro Girl segment.
Look at these grown men.
They're all hamming it up to get on camera. This was fun though. When they would you could get people goofing around and you would just put them on camera.
This is a great theme song.
Glenn Gilberti. Oh, and then they have this overlay like we have of Glenn Gilberti walking out with him inside of a pumpkin and Snickers with a mention there.
You can't knock this.
Look at that little girl with pigtails on her dad's shoulders wearing an NWO shirt.
Trying to do the disco dance as she almost falls off her dad's shoulders.
They did try to make Disco Inferno not like a sex pot character, but like a goofball. So they always cut back to the girls, when they have a character like that in the ring. And they've cut back to girls in the crowd a couple of times now.
Where's that sign that said I'm Lodi's girl?
Hello, Brad, Amber, and Tyler. When people would say hi to you through the television with a sign on TV.
Yeah, did you see me? I was on TV. I had your name on a sign.
You have my name on the screen. Hey, Kev.
I was on TV.
Oh, here's the juice. The juice is loose. The juice is loose, Robert. Juice is loose.
Why?
Food.
Hoovy is wrestling, and it's
Was he
not
the juice
for the
yet?
title. I don't know.
Was he the juice yet?
He's not the juice yet. He wouldn't be the juice for quite some time.
Man, they're really pushing the fog machine budget here during these.
Oh no, he did say juice.
He did say juice.
But look at that sign. Hoovy is groovy.
Just bumper sticker humor on these crowd signs. Wow, look at this big scoping shot here on the cranes as well. Robert, can you carry it? I'm going to go grab a drink here before I miss like some spin.
I will carry it.
All right, I'll be right back.
Howdy, y'all. What do we got in the chat? James Espanto saying, I feel like the reason Raw Underground went under is because they dropped the dances. I don't know if that put them under. Saul Slatan, yes. Hoovy looks very much like Michael Jackson. Very much Michael Jackson.
I am getting some Michael Jackson vibes. Robert, you remember when they put Hoovy on commentary for a little bit?
I do. That was later on in the run of Nitro. Christian Rosa asking where John is. Listen, John Clark, I don't know if he'd want to sit down with us for 3.5 hours and watch the Halloween Havoc. I'd gladly have him here. I like John. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he'll be joining us under. Yeah, he does our Monday Night Raw post shows with us and stuff like that.
Is Kidman still working for WWE? Yes. He, in fact, just returned from furlough.
Yeah, he's been an agent for them for like well over 10 years.
He's been an agent for them for at least 15 years.
Yeah. He made a good transition there. Good for him. Interesting that Adam Pearce is like the authority, the faux authority figure.
He's WWE official Adam Pearce.
He's still an agent. He's still working backstage as an agent, I understand. How you guys doing? If you're just joining us here, hop right in here. We're watching Disco Inferno and the Hoovitude Guerrero go at it here on Halloween Havoc 1998. I was a freshman. So this is October 98. So I could have been, oh wow, I would have been maybe I would have been you would have
been a sophomore.
No, I should have been a sophomore. I was a freshman, I think.
Oh, Kevin got let back because Kevin.
No, I had an extra year of preschool, so that just kind of throws off my loop a little bit. Okay.
Oh, is it one of those? Your birthday? When's your birthday?
My birthday's June, so I always had that weird cutoff.
I hate that. That's so stupid.
Yeah, but the cool thing is, I had the birthday where when my birthday was coming up, I knew it was the end of school. So my birthday almost always lined up with the end of school.
Well, my birthday's in August, so it was always like, yay, SummerSlam, yay, birthday, boo.
Now back to school.
Yeah.
Boo, back to school.
Yeah.
Disco Inferno, Glenn Gilberti laying in that clothesline. Not too hard, but Hoovy's flipping his body upside down to sell it. Glenn Gilberti, I understand, works as a bodyguard of some kind at adult entertainment establishments. He was a male stripper?
I believe that's what he does.
I know he worked at some type of strip club in Las Vegas, or is involved in one.
I don't know if he's still doing that today. If he is, God bless him. But like people wanted some disco fever, is what I'm saying.
And then after WCW became a huge figure in the early days of TNA, he was like a central player and stuff there.
Yeah, but he was a central player in like the pay-per-view era of like sports entertainment extreme. If you don't know, that's still sex, guys.
Yeah. Oh, sex? Is that what it stands for?
Yeah, Dusty Rhodes once cut the promo of there's two kinds of sex. One that's destroying our industry and one that people say I'm too old to have anymore. Like, I mean, it's a beautiful thing, man.
Look at this headlock. Grabbing a hold in a cruiserweight match. It's an odd thing here.
Well, it's Glenn Gilberti. He's going to grab the hold.
Yeah. Glenn Gilberti, never an awful wrestler, but never a super fantastic guy in the ring either. He was very, very gimmick heavy, right?
I think you're being generous.
Okay, you think he was a bad wrestler?
He's fun.
Yeah, but
here's the thing. Not all wrestlers need to be good wrestlers. Like, Honky Tonk Man sucks, but I will watch the Honky Tonk Man over a lot of things.
Because you love the gimmick. You love the character. Yeah.
He's cool, he's cocky, he's bad. That's all I need.
and Disco had a fun introduction here, and he played the really good chicken shiz and ran out of the ring,
Yeah,
to get a point to the brain.
Just so we're clear, I was 5 when this pay-per-view happened.
You were 5? Oh, F you, Robert.
I was a very little.
Why do you have to make me feel so goddamn old all the time?
It evens out, Kevin.
I hold you personally responsible for not being born closer to my age.
I'm sorry. Is Norman Smiley on his pay-per-view? I'm gonna say no.
No, I don't think he came out until like 99. A lot of people saying they were 10 when this was out, making me feel significantly older.
Well, you would have only been 15. I mean,
some people saying they were 6 when this came out. So, all right, so we have a couple of people on the younger end. How old were you when you watched this show? If you're with us live,
Christian Rose is saying I'm a baby. John's younger than me. Just so we're clear, like I think the second youngest in this totem pole.
Yes.
The rest of you guys are in your 30s.
Yeah. So pretty cool. A lot of people.
I thought you were older than me. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I have the mentality of like a 50-year-old, but like,
yeah. Three-man booth doesn't let Bobby Heenan get his jokes in, man.
Yeah, and Bobby's jokes are unfortunately not landing. There you go, Kevin. William was 22.
Okay.
So you're not that old.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're not that old. Kevin, you're actually very old.
The crowd not nearly into this as much as they were Jericho and Raven.
I wonder why. One had Jericho and Raven, and the other one has Disco Inferno.
Disco taking quite a time to get up after this near fall here. You don't pick a man up by his hair. I don't even have hair, and I say you don't do that. This is very Memphis. Him just dancing above his opponent. You know what I mean? Just shutting and driving before a rollover finish there. We're going to go for Spinorama right here. Not a Cesaro giant swing, but Disco Inferno himself, so dizzy, he falls into the crotch of Juventud Guerrera.
It's funny because he hit his penis.
Yes, because he hit his penis. Now, I will say this, at least they did a crafty shot to the nuts. And he made it look like, I'm dizzy. And I'm going to land on
Hoovy has a bruised banana, you might say.
You got me right in my juice. Oh, you've injured me in my juice. My juice balls are being injured.
Charles Robinson here, looking like he's only aged about 5 months.
My God. Charles
in the
Robinson,
last 20 years.
Yeah. Oh, man. Definitely.
Lil Nate is fantastic.
Yeah, Andy Flick with a great comment here. I only started watching wrestling in late 1997, going into 1998. So this is like right around the time that you got into it then. Yeah. I started watching WCW when Sid was doing his fake streak. Okay.
So he would get into WCW about a year from this point.
Yeah.
Who remembers the Boogie Nights?
What were the Boogie Nights? What was that?
Disco and
Alex Wright. Alex Wright going to be on the show. We get a year.
Good. I love.
We get Das Wonder Kid going to be on the show, taking on Finley in a little bit. Das Wonder Kid, yes. Frankensteiner back in the ring. Hoovy did have some exciting top rope stuff. His top rope stuff was up there, man.
That should be it. That really should be it.
Spinning hip attack off the top rope. Disco kicks out. Come on.
You're kicking out of a top rope spinning heel kick. You got
people going to the top rope doing double indies, kicking out on two. Who's going to go for another pinfall here on this reverse bulldog? Disco's not going to have it. This match has gone on too long, right?
I actually think Disco wins, if memory serves. I think he's gonna...
I don't remember a lot of the undercard on this. And that was a big reason. I was like, let's try and do a show that seems like it has a lot of stars on it. This one does. The big jumping pile driver. You never see that anymore right now.
His shoulder's up.
Disco wins the match with a jumping pile driver.
Yeah, that's not what I expected.
After Juventud did like a flying hip attack on the top rope, did a Frankensteiner off the top rope, did like all these things, and then one big jumping pile driver, which, mind you, should finish you, right?
Yeah.
But that was such a weird match, right? And he's just like an over cartoon heel, right? He's over. I'll say that. He's crowds into him in his fun BS, but like WCW would do this a lot. They had really, really talented guys in the mid card and would always have them lose to some goofy heel or some ridiculous thing, you know? But that didn't say that Hoovy was over in this match either, right? Man, the jumping pile driver. You just don't see that anymore, you know?
Yes.
Like, that looks alarming. Even when you see Stone Cold do a tombstone, or Undertaker, rather, when he gets to come out now and then, a tombstone from him seems like a really, really big deal every time.
Honestly, this is a great theme song.
I believe at ringside, I can't confirm it. When I was a kid, there used to be a very, very small 2-paragraph column in the Chicago Sun-Times. And the writer of that was Black Jack Brown. That was his byline name. They would have it in there. And I believe Black Jack is taking photos at ringside.
Okay, they're back. And
the Nitro Girls are back.
They're cowgirls now.
Oh, they do have Dallas Cowboy colors and very oversized jackets. I do not believe that those jackets are staying on during the standing segment, Robert. All right, we have more ladies with chair dancing. Mike Tenay saying, Mike Tenay telling Tony to get back in his chair.
Wow, you hear the pop for when they, wow.
Oh, what are you talking about when the Nitro Girls just did that leg split gimmick?
Yeah, you hear the crowd just go,
ooh,
yes.
That was a very titillating segment there from the Nitro Girls, Robert. Bobby Heenan got a line there. Bobby Heenan got a line there saying, "Pass me that cold towel. I need that cold towel." After those women titillated the audience, and they cut to kids. Go from the Nitro Girls to kids in the audience. One of the we get Scott Steiner coming out here.
I hope the ladies aren't walking past Scott Steiner because they might not.
They can't control themselves. I mean, they just went out there and just did this very sexy dance performance. But that man, he hollers. You got to hear him. It's the town that never sleeps. Big Papa Pump says, "What is the over under on him saying something that is definitely not going to age well here?"
I would not take that bet because I don't like to lose.
Las Vegas is a night off for him. He has freaks on his right and his left. Not talk about Lars Sullivan.
He's ready to pound, by the way. I don't know what that means.
Hey, freaks. Holler if you hear him. Yes, to the freaks that are in the audience, I am down. I am down to hook up after the show. There's a big, do you see the Big Papa Pump flag in the audience? So it did like a homemade flag. Man, WCW was over back in the day. And at this point, they're losing to WWE at this point.
They're not losing definitively, though.
No, this isn't like the blow away just yet. because this is October '98. They already did Stone Cold winning the title, right, with Tyson and Michaels, right? But I mean, like they were hitting hard then. The Rock wasn't just there, right? He didn't hit until like
No.
around. He was gonna start going around this time though, right?
I mean, no. Rock was Rock isn't champion yet, but he will be next month.
Look at his weird. Does you know what people always say?
Yeah, it's too much.
Does he have a weird implant in his arms?
No,
because this is like we hadn't seen Scott Steiner in a long time, and he was always one of the biggest guys.
He's got steroids, man. He's got peaks on peaks on peaks.
Yeah. Uh-oh, here comes the giant. Why is Scott Steiner holding up the microphone for
Why
Bischoff? Not? But it's like he's doing stickman work for like someone who's significantly bigger than him.
Hey, it's JJ Dillon.
JJ Dillon has something to say about this segment. Oh. He was still called Marcus Bagwell at the time here.
No, they just constantly did that.
So yeah, we will get more. They're giving a lot of time to this Steiner program. A lot of promos on this show. And once again, this is a show. We won't see this in the WWE Network version. Obviously, we'll get the whole show. They'll cut off the main event with Goldberg and Diamond Dallas Page. Huge issue for them and the different pay-per-view providers and people who paid money for that. And the satellite feed that gets cut off. We'll also see Nash versus Hall and Bret Hart versus Sting for the United States heavyweight title. You know, because why put Bret Hart near the world title program when he jumped from WWE to come over to you guys, right? Why do that? That would make too much sense.
We're gonna go from this to apparently Finley and Alex Wright, and that just feels weird.
Well, and they're also playing up this idea of a WCW World Tag Team title match. NWO Hollywood, Steiner, and the Giant have the titles here, and they'll take on Bagwell and Steiner. This will lead to something else involving the Steiner brothers as well. Maybe you haven't seen it yet. We won't talk about it. That's kind of what they're setting up here. And then we get Warrior versus Hollywood Hogan. They thankfully did not go on last with this. That was kind of a smart decision in retrospect, though the main event itself, the title match with Goldberg and Diamond Dallas Page, would get cut off. So, I mean, it's odd that you would think that Warrior and Hogan wouldn't be the last match on this show.
Well, he shouldn't be. I believe the title should be the last match on the show.
True, you're just like that for anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then, you know, you have shows like, you know, WrestleMania when they had Hogan and Rock and that match was so over, and then someone unfortunately had to go on there and defend a title, and no one really cared. They just didn't care as much as they did about the match before. So
true, but I feel like once you give attention to the fact that the championship doesn't necessarily mean as much, you're setting a bad precedent.
Here comes Fit Finley. He's wearing neon green and black gear.
He's wearing green because he's Irish. I don't know if you knew that, but
as someone who's Irish, I know he's Irish, Robert. I know he's Irish.
I mean, if you didn't know, he's wearing green and he has the clover. So, you know.
His name is Finley, and he loves to fight.
The greatest dancer in the history of professional wrestling.
Oh, and they have the demon shaking the blown up Halloween pumpkin there. Alex Wright, yes, dance, Eurotrash. That is my gimmick. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? Your sister should not date me, but you want her to date me. Now,
I like that,
dudes
like,
in the crowd dancing.
They're all trying for it.
People with a lot of leather jackets in WCW.
Why,
dude, look at that mom. Did you see that mom dancing? Did you see that mom dancing, holding the digital camera?
That's not a mom. She's looking to take home some Alex Wright.
She wants to feel the Das Wonder Kid, dude. Oh, dude, there's some permed up hair in the crowd here, too. I'm looking at some of the ladies' fashions. Happy birthday, Charlie. Big sign in there. Charlie, if you're watching in 1998, happy birthday to you.
Yeah, man.
Some lady walked down the aisle with a Alex Wright sign, like in the aisle. Alex Wright is something. Is a something like I can't see it. Wonder Kid just trying to roll out of a lockup with Fit Finley. I don't think he's gonna like that cute stuff. You're gonna get a snug elbow in the jaw for that. And he's gonna lay him into the corner, and something makes you think Finley's gonna have a couple shots in here. What do you think?
Yeah.
Fit Finley still looked like this in 2005 when he had his final run there.
He lost the mushroom hair a little bit, but Alex Wright is a what?
I can't see what that sign says, but it's a little kid holding it, you know? Oh, that was a cool reversal wrist lock there, going all the way up to the top rope. But back to the dancing. Who's a better dancer, Alex Wright or Disco Inferno? I'm going with Disco. I'm going with Alex Wright. Actually,
well, Alex Wright is more iconic just for the moves, man.
Oh, Nerd gonna kind of trap that trapezius and then pull on the nostrils and then elbow you in the nose. Not so pretty there. You're not so pretty when you take an elbow to the nose from behind.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Fit Finley doing little things very, very well. Such a European trait in wrestlers. What was that awful injury? What was that awful injury he got later in his career when they were in like a hardcore fight in like a real junkyard? And Finley, like in WCW, got one.
Oh no! It was before this. He just I think he cut himself open because he was fighting Regal in a parking lot, and it's very dangerous.
Fans texting and saying one of my favorite WCW feuds was Fit Finley versus Lord Steven Regal.
83 Weeks covered it in the past month or two. Not this show. I would know that because I'm always listening to 83 Weeks. I listen to far too much wrestling podcasts.
Yeah. Big fan of the show, Saul. Thank you so much. He says, or better yet, Shockmaster on Halloween Havoc 2020. Let me tell you, Halloween Havoc 2020 has been a real Shockmaster of a year.
I think we need to cover a giant man in toilet paper, but I think the only man big enough for the job is Big Jordan.
Yeah, they could do that. Do you think they're going to have any goofy stuff with the upcoming NXT October 28th, 2020? When you're watching this, we'll get a NXT version of Halloween Havoc. How many old school WCW inside jokes do you think we're going to get on that show?
Well, we got Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal.
Mm-hmm.
We're bound to get some goofy costumes or some shit.
Hopefully we get a costume battle royale.
Maybe not that.
Yeah, because battle royals are very taboo now. Because too many people.
Listen, I'm getting anxiety just looking at a full arena and looking at these people so close together.
This is from 20 years ago. You're getting a weird feeling just looking at that many people in one place.
I think social distancing should just always be enforced. These people in the 90s, they're breathing on each other. They're probably giving each other mullets just by breathing on one another.
Alex Wright just body slammed Finley on the outside of the ring, and I don't care because you're saying someone could breathe a mullet onto you?
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
That is what I said. Those are the words that came out of my mouth.
Also, Alex Wright just got dropped on that guardrail.
If I can pop you, Kevin, I've done my job for the
day. Share the link, everybody. Bring some people into the party. Even if they're not watching the show, just tell them, hey, they're on this match. Get them in here.
Here's a fun one that we'll talk about on many podcasts, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. MJF said, I'm about as charismatic as drying effing paint.
What happened there? MJF of AEW getting into it with you on Twitter.
He didn't get into it with me. He just happened to tell the people I work with that I'm about as charismatic as drying paint. Because I guess he listens to the Wednesday Night War podcast on Fightful, and he feels that Louis of Wrestle Talk should be brought back in my place. That the crappy British kid, he didn't say crappy, he's another word that I won't use here, is better than me because I'm about as charismatic as drying paint.
Well, I too have had my career threatened by one Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Not a kind guy.
I admit, listen, on that podcast, I was a little harsh on AEW. I was a little harsh on his segment, but me being as charismatic as watching paint dry, jeez.
Come on now. I wouldn't insult paint like that. Alex Wright getting the big win here with the neck breaker off the top rope. Very unique finish.
Oh, go. Yes.
Dance. Come on, Robert. You got the club. You dance Berlin Night Away. We dance all weekend at Berlin Nightclub. Dance.
Unfortunately, I believe he's already balding.
Who?
Alex Wright at this stage of his life.
Oh, he does have like a lot of product in the hair to sweep it back, you know. Still looks like $1,000,000. Got a great body. WCW.com, our internet site. Let's go back to our backstage location. The Cat talking some trash. He's a 3-time world karate champion. 3 times. All right. Who's it going to be that wears the gi? 3-time world.
All right. So Lee Marshall, never mind his WCW stuff for a second. He's the voice of Tony the Tiger. He was before he sadly passed. He's the voice of Tony the Tiger.
A couple years ago, he passed away, right?
I was working here by the time. I wanted to say it's great. You know, like.
He got to do some.
Why are you giving time to this? You went over.
This is already too long. This is already too long. You know.
Yeah.
For like a cutaway bit, this should just be like you cut away, you say this is going on, and this is it. You know.
Is Glacier coming out? What's happening here?
Are we getting more? Oh, we're not getting more Nitro Girls. Oh, here we go. We're getting Lodi.
We got Lodi.
Lodi was like a very interesting character. Came out of the Ravens flock.
Lodi hasn't slept.
Was quite the comedic character.
Lodi likes Texas. Lodi gets revenge.
Yeah, he kind of had the sign guy gimmick, you know. Sammy Guevara doing this now.
Yeah.
Also,
look, it's Lodi's girl.
Lodi's girl. She wants to be Lodi's girl here. And then someone springing in front of her sign when they realize it's on camera. David Penzer. David Penzer with that
small Sting Rules sign in the crowd.
Hit or stand is his next sign. Lodi was quite the comedic character. I would say he was over a little bit just with the goofball fans, right?
Yeah.
I remember a lot of like South Park, you know, like people would make a South Park version of their favorite wrestler. And Lodi was one of the first ones I saw float around online in '98. What is this outfit that Saturn is wearing?
He raided Van Hammer's closet.
Yeah, he has like a chainmail vest on. He looks like he is an extra in a Judas Priest music video.
Speaking of which, Mr. Board in the USA says he's about ready to flee the country. Different topic entirely.
Oh yeah, talking about the real life smackdown that's going on with the United States here. We won't take political sides, but we hope you have definitely registered to vote, play your part in the process if you're in the United States, and hope everything goes well. Let's say that. That is our apolitical thing. We'll get away from it. Here we go. We get Saturn and Lodi. This is mid card as mid card gets.
This doesn't need to be on a pay-per-view.
No. I hope Saturn though can pull out a match.
I hope that I look at 83 weeks tomorrow morning and they're covering this show. Like I want to hear Eric Bischoff justify why several segments on the show.
Saturn was an underrated guy in wrestling in general. You know.
Oh yeah, I mean
his physical ability.
Champion with John Cronus, trained with Triple H. Came into WWF with Malenko and Guerrero and Benoit. Saturn was great.
Got a mop over. I mean, he got a mop.
Over. Lodi's gonna
hightail here. Lodi's gonna run and grab his signs from a ringside attendant. Those signs are very important to him. You know.
He doesn't know how to communicate without the poster board.
Leave these signs right here. They're important.
If I was watching this on my own and we weren't watching this together, I would skip to the next segment.
You would skip to the next segment. But I do have to remark on Lodi's magnificent mutton chops. Dyed bleach blonde hair, big mutton chops. Quite the wrestler look, right?
And then quite the interesting trunks as well.
Mm-hmm. You got rings that people could grab there. It's easy for a go behind. You're setting yourself up for loss there, Lodi. He's got dangles. Oh, look at that leg sweep from Saturn. Clean sweep there.
Saturn is great.
I'll give it to Lodi. He's trying to make some fun comedy out of this, you know? Something in the middle of the show to give people a goof. But they already have so much goofy stuff that isn't wrestling on the show already, right? This isn't the worst show I've seen, but this is definitely like a match that should be on television, not on pay-per-view. Every minute on the show that feels wasted, we're gonna think like, oh, imagine how mad you were if you watched this on pay-per-view when it aired, and how mad you were that you didn't get Goldberg and DDP. If you watch this on pay-per-view,
if you're watching this match and you're watching the cat talk for 2 minutes about why he's the greatest.
If you watch this on pay-per-view when it happened, I still want to know what you guys thought here. Some people saying, is Lodi still wrestling? I've heard he's done sporadic indie dates. I know Saturn kind of fell off the face of the earth for a long time.
Saturn fell in bad times, and then he got good, and then he fell bad, and then he's just doing the eternal struggle.
Yeah, such is life. Such is life. Different takes here on this. Once again, continue to share the link. If you guys haven't done it already, subscribe to the podcast, Wrestlezone.
MJF is an enemy of WZD. Listen, I like MJF. He can talk all the crap about me he wants.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of helping me. Just get
you know what it is, there. Robert? You got free real estate in his brain now.
I think it's my boss that has free real estate in his brain. We get the benefit or lack thereof by proxy.
Yeah. We got a Death Valley Driver coming up here. Are they going to end this thing?
I love the Saturn DVD.
Ooh. Quite the finisher from Saturn there. He cleans up Lodi here pretty quick. Not a great match. Didn't need to be on the show. Could have been on television.
Yeah.
Saturn does not look too pleased with this performance either. He doesn't look too happy about it.
Yeah, I'd be mad if I had to go out there and do that.
A lot of heels getting over their comedy gimmicks in the mid card. Him and Disco, you know. That leg sweep is sweet though.
Yeah.
Belly to belly suplexes. You know, Saturn shows off his stuff, but this isn't a barn burner match. You know, it's go out there, be a goofball, avoid some stuff, get caught, get slammed, get out of here. You know. You been to Vegas, Robert?
I have not been to Vegas. You went to Vegas.
I've not been to Vegas either. I've not been.
You didn't go for Double or Nothing?
No, but Vegas is one of those places I always wish there was a WrestleMania and I would go back to it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Christian says, when I say wrestle, y'all say zone? Wrestle?
Zone, yeah.
Thank you, Christian. I appreciate it, man.
We appreciate you.
People bringing this up. I said something about a giveaway. Yes, we do have a giveaway. If you stick around to the end of the show and you share this, you will be entered into a giveaway. All right, for a prize pack that will be mailed to you at a later date. A prize pack with some very, very fun, ridiculous things in it. An activity set that I'm putting together. Remember these? An old school activity set. I'm talking a word scramble. I'm gonna make a word scramble.
Kevin, why we got a word scramble?
I'm making a Wrestlezone word scramble with wrestling references in it and references to the show. And you'll get a word scramble and maybe some Halloween-y treats and stuff like that in the mail. And the way to do that for the diehards that are watching the show, share this stream. Share it. Share it wherever you got it. Tag some people in the stream, and if you share it, I'm going to go through those specifically on Facebook and on Twitter. And if you do it on Twitter, make sure you tag at WrestleZone.com. So if you're sharing the YouTube link there as well, tag at WrestleZone.com hashtag Halloween Havoc. Okay, so you tag us. All right, if you do it on Facebook, make sure you also use Halloween Havoc. When you post this, you want to share it on your wall. I'll go through those, and we're going to number randomize them. All right, and we'll announce a winner in a week or so, and we'll mail out some people some cool prize packs with a word scramble and some Halloween-y treats, maybe some extra good wrestle things for you as well. You having a good time with this, Robert? Are we wasting your Saturday night or your Sunday night?
Well, it's a Sunday night, first of all.
Does it even matter anymore? We spend all of our time at home.
Well, days still matter.
Here are the Nitro girls.
Dude, we don't
no
need
chair
that.
dancing in this one.
Listen,
no chair.
I'm not going to argue with 90s girls dancing like they're in the Spice Girls, but, like, we don't need this.
How many times? Is this our third Nitro girl dance in the show?
This is the third dance in 1
Just get
hour
to the
and
next
11
match.
minutes.
Get to the next match.
Is Michaels' wife here yet?
Which one was it? Which one did Michaels marry? Kimberly is one of these, right? Kimberly from.
I think Kimberly might be that one.
But on the right, in the black one of those with a black top on.
Yeah, she's the bigger one.
Oh, she's dead center. She was dead center there at the end pose. They always have to end. They have to end pose like they're Charlie's Angels.
I hope that's like the last Nitro Girls dance.
He's back. Do they keep the Nitro Girls until the end of Nitro? Or did they phase them out?
I don't remember them being on the shows this much.
Ah, more Disco Inferno?
Yeah, he's going to wrestle the Cruiserweight Champion here on the right. Oh, look, the guy went
right back to the same guy. The same guy. They had the same guy during Disco's intro earlier. So to make the difference between Disco's first match on this show, he now comes out with
just a disco dancing fool, Kevin.
Oh, he dances all night.
Look, he doesn't want to dance. He's like, I did it once.
I did it before. He just poses to the ceiling. Got a whole head of hair like a Cadillac. Billy Kidman coming out here with the cruiserweight strap.
Why do they call him Billy Kidman, Kevin?
Why do they call him Billy Kidman? Why is it?
He has a similar look to Billy the Kid.
You know what? Here's a stupid thing. I've never, ever made that connection. Ever. Until you just said it right now.
Somebody made that connection for me a few years back, and it clicks.
People saying we need to autograph this prize package. Well, here's the thing. Robert's in Florida. I'll sign it.
I love that you guys want our names written poorly on a piece of paper, but like maybe someday. My guess is no, Mike, today. He does not win the Cruiserweight Gold at Havoc.
Once again, if you guys want to win that prize pack, tag Wrestlezone and share this. Tag Wrestlezone and share this. You want to do that on Twitter? Go ahead and share this as well. It is hard to type on BeLive, man. They really don't let you type out stuff accurately on BeLive. Yeah, people saying you just blew my mind with that Billy the Kid connection. I agree. Is this match going to be better than Hoovy and Disco?
Absolutely not.
You don't think so?
The Hoovy match went too long. I'm hoping this kind of gets it done quickly. I am confused by the pacing of this.
We didn't have any wrestling until 12 minutes in the show. We're an hour and 15 minutes into this Halloween Havoc.
And somehow we've seen Disco Inferno twice.
And we've seen Disco Inferno twice in an hour. Was he that over at this time?
No.
Uh-oh. See, Disco missed something there. He went for a body slam and had to put himself back into position to take that kick out.
So Kidman had like a crack addict gimmick.
Did he have that in the flock? Did he have that in the flock? And then when he
was always like itchy and like, always kind of giving that junky vibe.
Didn't they have Sick Boy was like that too?
Sick Boy, I don't know what Sick Boy's deal was. He's like the one member of the flock. I don't know what his thing was because Riggs got beaten up by Raven and had to wear the eye patch and then joined the flock. Kidman was like an addict, and
They tried to give those guys some character names, but they really just became a goon squad for Goldberg to go through on his way to dominance, right?
Wow, that was dangerous. But
that over the head Hurricane Rana they did?
Yeah, because he almost
landed on
was
his
like
head.
way too ahead of Disco.
Yeah, Disco is Billy Kidman did not look happy as they did that close shot of him.
Yeah.
And he got some distance away from Disco. I don't think he appreciated how Disco didn't catch him on that there. So they're going to slow it down for Disco Inferno's pace here. You know?
That's fair.
He liked slow dancing.
Kidman just turned 24 here. So Kidman is younger here than I am.
That did not look good. Did you see that? The trip into the ropes and Kidman landing on his throat. I know you can work that, right? But that never looks good whenever anyone does anything involving their head or neck into the ropes.
Tony Schiavone basically saying that Kidman attracts the female fans.
Oh, hot young heartthrob here.
I think Disco is doing well for himself.
I was at a Payback for WWE a few years ago, and that was when Enzo was supposed to slide underneath the ropes and knock himself out on the bottom rope.
Oh God, man!
And that was man! And the match got stopped, and that was, I will say, one of the scariest times I've been in a wrestling show. Like, we were legitimately concerned in the crowd as to what his condition was. Schiavone telling you how people work out in the day and then perform at night.
Which is a real thing.
Yeah. Now you got to think, how do wrestlers live? They don't live like that anymore in 2020 with the pandemic or anything like that.
They're doing well.
Because they don't have their nights, man. They're just like, they go to the performance center, they work out there in the day, shower up, wrestle, shower up again,
and go home.
Stay 6 feet away from me here. Exposed guardrails. That's always a dated thing you see in wrestling. Oh, cool bulldog there running off the steel steps. That was fun.
Let's go. Get inside. You're both clearly on the floor.
The ref say, he just ran out and yelled, "Get inside." Who's the referee here? Do you know?
Mickey Henson. Don't quote me on that.
Oh, he had to wait for the camera. Do you see he had to wait for the cameraman to get off that perch to jump off the top rope?
Yeah. These cameramen are kind of in the way.
Got nothing there. Steven Chambers saying Hoovy versus Kidman is a better match.
It would have been a better match, I agree.
Fans saying they were tired of they're tired of the flock beating up poor Briggs all the time. Someone saying Shark Boy saved the Monday Night Wars for WCW. He wasn't on WCW long, was he?
Never even. Yeah, AJ was at the very end of WCW.
Yeah, he was in the tail end of that there. Crowd's getting into this. Here we go. Billy Kidman had some explosive offense too. Is he still doing the big 450 splash at this point?
He's doing the shooting star. Hoovy was doing the 450.
Do you remember? I think there's one time he did that on Chavo, and he really hurt Chavo.
Yeah, he broke his neck.
Ugh. I remember around this time, the height of WCW stuff, the E Network did a behind the scenes. They did a true Hollywood story of wrestling stuff. And however it was, negotiated, it was only WCW that was looked at. And then Backyard Wrestling. They looked at the wrestling craze, there was a lot of those being done at this point.
I remember the A&E biography that looked at both WWE and WCW, basically trying to do the whole, steroids.
Yeah, they went that. This was The E Network one was more of a fluffy thing. And it was just about like all these different things about wrestling. Some of it wasn't too risky, but they were like, I remember Billy Kidman, for whatever reason, was in a segment about having an amateur wrestling background can help you in pro wrestling, but it isn't mandatory or something like that. And how like legitimate collegiate wrestlers resent wrestling, especially at this point, because there was a handful of guys in there. Kurt Angle wasn't there yet, but you had some history. Danny Hodge was a part of wrestling and stuff like that. But this was a whole different thing. This was Attitude Era, South Park, crotch chops, big attitude. Yeah. It was all that stuff. Yet the show's headlined or really marketed off Hogan and Warrior as the main guys, even though Goldberg is probably the biggest star on the show.
Well, it's you're doing a WrestleMania rematch that's never been done before.
Yeah, I mean,
it makes sense too.
They were definitely trying to pull a card out. And if you were a hardcore WWE fan, like here's a show that you got to tune in. And if you're starting to go over to Monday Night Raw, stick with us. We got something here for you.
He's really
doesn't have the same moves
as the Nitro Dancers. You're right.
He doesn't have the same moves.
He doesn't have the same a lot of things.
Bobby Heenan stating very obvious things in like a straightforward way. Show was pretty successful. It did a 1.2 buy rate, but what does that even mean when you had so many people getting refunds on this?
Well, it's still the peak of wrestling. Mm-hmm.
I go to South Coast Today, Robert, reading this article, published October 30th, 1998, just 5 days after this pay-per-view. And obviously we've been talking about this all night, about how WCW cut off the main event with Goldberg and Diamond Dallas Page. A lot of people bought this show wanting to see that title match. And they got to see Hulk Hogan and an Ultimate Warrior. But as we mentioned, there's so much fluff on this show and so many unnecessary matches that don't feel like pay-per-view matches. South Coast Today reports WCW estimated that 20% of the households who spent $29.95 to order Havoc pay-per-view on October 25th didn't see the entire telecast. The show ran more than the allotted 3-hour time limit, which prompted some cable companies to stop airing Havoc before the main event between Bill Goldberg. I love how they say his full name. It's such a newspaper thing. And Diamond Dallas Page. In some areas, it was cut off during the match between Hogan and Warrior.
Wow.
WCW is offering a $5 rebate to those who are unable to watch the whole show, although some cable companies promise refunds to fans who voice their complaints. The mistake will cost WCW at least several hundred thousands of dollars in lost pay-per-view revenue.
That's awful, man.
So as
not
predicted,
worth this match at all. Not worth these matches at all.
Yeah. WCW did make the move up to fans.
He's doing the Macarena.
Kevin, look at the screen. He's doing the Macarena. Breaking news: Disco Inferno has performed the Macarena.
God, this is a simpler time.
Here comes that shooting star press. Hopefully, he lands this correctly. He doesn't hurt anyone.
Oh,
bam! What a move!
He didn't touch him.
He didn't touch him. He took all that on his knees and shins. You could tell Billy Kidman like grabbing that knee right away. He took that mainly on his legs. He's not even standing up at the end of the match. He took that all on his knees.
Ric Flair, please retire. I've got bad news for you.
This is over 22 years ago. It would take another 10 years for him to stop in WWE, and like another few years after that.
TNA. So like a good 13 years he still has it.
This match was a lot better than Hoovy and Disco Inferno, and that's all because of Billy Kidman.
Well, Kidman was trying a lot. Why would you replay this? He does not touch him.
Oh yeah, he does take that all on his knees.
Yeah, he doesn't even touch him.
I mean, it still looks cool though, right?
Yeah, it's not something I typically notice, but it was very apparent there.
But man, this is something else with the way this pay-per-view was handled. Yeah, and then of course there's a bunch of
married to Tori Wilson.
Yeah, there's probably some of the biggest botches of all time in this Hogan Warrior match that we'll get to see here in a second as well.
All right, cool. We're going right into another match.
Good. At some point, they just said we're running late here because we're an hour and a half into the show. And we get this World Tag Team Championship match here. Wow, they're really saving the big matches until like the final stages of the show.
Which I like that.
What?
I like that though.
I get that, but I was like, why wouldn't you open? You could open up with Hall and Nash. I think this is definitely the problem that WCW had, where there were so many guys that were big stars that had an influence on things, saying, I'm not going out there early, or I'm not going out here before the main event period of the show.
That you're viewing that through a 2020 mindset.
Sure.
Back in this day, they were not doing that thing that they do now. Where Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre might open Hell in a Cell for the WWE title.
It is a different thing with the network. They do kind of
the Giant has a cigarette, ladies and gentlemen.
The Giant smoking a cigarette?
The Giant has a cigarette. He's smoking.
He's smoking a cigarette. He's totally smoking a cigarette as he goes down to the ring.
Yeah.
He's smoking a cigarette. That is so 1998. You can't even do that in a building anymore. Is anyone? You couldn't smoke in a crowd in a building back then, could you?
No.
But you're gonna walk up to the Giant and tell him to put that cigarette out? Big Pop. I love when wrestlers would get a sign from the crowd. What does this sign say? Big Papa Pump rules all of wrestling. All of it. Get out of my way. She's pushing Cameron out of the way. I gotta get this.
I don't like that they basically said the Giant and Scott Hall are the tag team champions. But it doesn't matter because they're all the NWO. That's the answer we got.
Well, you mean they all come out to the same music all the time?
No, just saying anybody can defend the tag titles. They're all in.
Oh, that was right. There were other guys in the NWO that had the tag titles in this, right?
Yeah, no, it's Scott Hall and the Giant.
Buff Bagwell wrestling in jeans. I always get irked when wrestlers wrestle in jeans and they don't have like a street fight. I've been accustomed and conditioned if you're wearing jeans.
I barely when I'm wearing jeans look great, but
also Buff Bagwell wearing those, I'm gonna play minor league baseball sunglasses.
Well, his whole thing is he's gonna play minor league baseball.
Was he coming off an injury, Buff Bagwell, here? They're saying this is his
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Buff Bagwell, Big Show still taking drags off that cigarette. I don't know why I'm so amused by that, Robert. I'm so amused.
Why is the
thing? Why is he smoking? Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Someone saying, was the Giant thinking he was Sandman? Was he trying to pull a Sandman thing here?
I believe he actually had a smoking problem, and this was their way of
Did you ever see the Hall of Fame where Show is vaping? He's vaping during the Hall of Fame in the crowd.
What? No.
Yeah, there was a Hall of Fame a couple of years ago where he was vaping, and people were losing it on Twitter over that.
That's awful.
Oh man, people with different takes here. If you're watching live, man, tell us what you think of the show. People talking about that. I was mentioning that wrestling special they did in 98, 99 on the E Network, saying that they were always pro wrestling positive. Yeah, whenever they had wrestlers on, they would have wrestlers on like Talk Soup or Howard Stern. It was always kind of provocative, but it was never like making fun of wrestling per se. Stern was huge at the time too. Howard Stern was very, very big, and so when wrestlers were on there, it was always a big deal. They would do something provocative. They would have like Vince on there. I remember Vince being on there when the XFL had some scandals and stuff like that in 2001. He was on there. People enjoying that Kidman Disco Inferno match that was on before us here. Is this show losing you, Robert? Have you lost interest in this show?
The shitty thing is, like, there are bigger matches to come.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was the thing with pay-per-views. Like you paid and the main events really sold you on it, but you always wanted something in the mid-card to like surprise you and catch you off guard. Man, Big Show he's big now, right? But I don't know. There was something about the way that WCW would shoot the hard cam this way that he always looked real big, you know?
Yeah, and he was probably bigger then than he is now.
And he's like 3 years in because he started wrestling in 94, 95, right?
94, 95, yeah.
First match wins the title against Hogan, right?
Yep.
Still pretty green here, you know? I mean, you got to think a guy who's legitimately the world's largest professional wrestler, right?
At the time, sure.
At the time. And he's doesn't have much time left in WCW after this. Probably what?
No, he's got about 4 months until
4 months. So this may have been one of his last big pay-per-view appearances for them.
Correct.
Scott really going off on his brother here.
He deserved it.
What did he do? What did he do to deserve it?
Existed, Kevin.
You exist in Big Papa Pump's world. You just pushed the Big Show from behind. That was Buff Bagwell's big save for his tag team partner Rick Steiner on the outside of the ring, was to run and push the Giant from behind. See, if I recall this correctly, there's some turn here, so that kind of makes sense, though. The WWE at the time had the zebra stripes on the referee. WCW had the old school baby blue bow tie on the ref. What do you think of ref gear? What's your ref look like when you're out there?
If I had my preference,
yeah,
probably across. I wouldn't have them in a bow tie, but like a nice black dress shirt, sure.
Sean Smith bringing up that Buff Bagwell has gotten into the male escort world. I remember.
He was in the male escort world.
Yes, and was in a reality show documenting that as well. So,
wrestlers are weird, man.
Someone asking, did Buff have calf implants?
He did.
He did?
He did.
Calf implants are weird, man. You got to be a real body guy if you want calf implants. Wow, Rick Steiner real big in this one, too. Thing I always liked about Rick, never an ab guy. You know, I like big burly wrestlers who have a solid gut on them that can do some powerlifting. Oh, Buff Bagwell with the turn, kicking Rick Steiner in the gut. Two sweeting Giant and Rick Steiner here. Tony Schiavone saying, I know there's many of you out there that expected this. And Buff isn't even going to stay in the ring to beat down Rick Steiner. He's just going to run out after kicking him in the gut and turning on him and saying, I'm coming back. I'm going to have your back against your brother and the NWO. And here he is. You think he would stay out there for the beatdown and just, really?
Yeah, why wouldn't you do that?
Leave it to Bleach Blonde, Big Papa Pump to pose as his brother gets beaten up here. And he kicked him right in the balls in front of the referee. That wasn't even like hiding it. He just ran up and punted his brother in the crotch.
Charles Robinson just shaking his head there instead of doing his job.
Dude, you know what would put this over the moon is if Big Show just like reached into his tights and just pulled out a Marlboro Red and said, God damn it, I'm waiting to get out of here. And just start taking drags. You know what I mean? Just having a cigarette in the side of his mouth while he's laying in his offense.
All right.
You ever check out any of the Steiner stuff in Japan in the 90s when they were just destroying people?
I think they're one of the most underrated tag teams.
They're up there, but I mean, they definitely don't have good. Specifically, Scott doesn't have good standing. You know, when you look at a team like this, especially this is over 20 years ago, you think, all right, so when are they going to go in the Hall of Fame? You know, right? So the Steiners are worthy of it, but Scott just does not seem to have any interest in doing that at all, does he? Oh my gosh. The Giant jumping up and down on Rick Steiner's chest. How does he not kill you with even the simplest thing? Robert, you still hear me there, bud?
Yeah, I'm still hearing you. I'm dealing with a little bit of
You got some work?
behind the scenes business.
Oh, we got some business. Do we got some business going on off screen here? Some work at the news desk of a website of such.
Nah.
We do have some news now from Wrestlezone. I can tell you this. Eric Bischoff, very testy quote here.
That's exactly what I was referring to.
Yeah. I don't think NXT is as good as TNA was when TNA was at its peak. Whoa. Contest here with this story here on the most recent 83 After Weeks post show. Definitely a testy comment there for one Mr. Eric Bischoff to think and say here.
Yeah, he's
so this is basically a handicap match now with Rick Steiner against Big Papa Pump and the Giant Big Show. Crowd into the comebacks here for Rick Steiner, big hope spots, and a second time, Rick Steiner hits him in the balls, and Charles Robinson warns him. This is the second time he's done it.
Well, in front of the referee. All right, if we're gonna try to implicate logic here, you can say Robinson doesn't want to disqualify anybody.
Oh my God! The Giant is going up to the top rope. Yeah. The Giant is going up to the top rope. The Giant, cannot get his footing. He is going up to the top rope. World's largest man cannot get his footing on the top rope. Oh, he destroys Scott Steiner as Rick jumps out of the way with a drop kick off the top rope. He did this a handful of times.
Rumor has it that he got home that night and there was a phone call from Stanford that said, yeah, I think we'll take you.
And Rick Steiner coming back here, he did a drop kick that should destroy any human being, as he is simply that big. Rick Steiner with a bulldog on the Giant. Is this the way they send the Giant out here? It is. No, Rick Steiner wins this match. The crowd goes wild for this. The crowd was really into this. That was not a great match, okay?
No, there was some good bits.
Yeah, there were some good bits, but like the fact that like he hit him in the crotch 2 times in front of the referee and they just let it go. And then the Buff thing just happened and then Buff left. But it did give enough time for, Rick to get his hope spot in. And
look at this man saying, you need to get in the ring, Scott.
Why does Scott need to get in the ring? Why is the referee telling him to get in the ring?
They're going to fight now. He earned a match.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He earns the no disqualification match. I completely forget about this here. See, that's another thing. This is another WCW thing. They've overwrought this. It's like Big Show underwhelms and underdelivers for the NWO. Then Buff Bagwell does this thing. Like they kind of put too much stuff into it, right?
Yeah. You're a 500-pound man. Just punch the guy in the face.
Yeah, that's another thing is like Big Show would hit people and they wouldn't sell it as much as they should, Also, the Giant could move at this time too,
I don't know how. All that smoking, it can't be good for his lungs.
Doesn't have the cardio, Smoking those butts. Rick Steiner has won the World Tag Team Championship. But that's not as important as having this no disqualification match. That was cool, though. But the crowd is really into this.
Why wouldn't they be? This is a big angle. It's been building for like a year.
I just don't know how Rick Steiner is still in this after his tag team partner turned on him. A giant jumped on his chest, and his brother. You know what I mean? It's a lot. It's a stretch.
Nah, that's fire WCW. That evil NWO needs to get the business.
I assume the idea was get the tag titles out of the NWO here. Rick Steiner setting him up for a big power bomb. Oh, we're gonna run him into the corner. That looked dangerous. And then the camera flipped upside down. You see that? That was kind of a wild shot.
That's wonky. Hey, ain't that kooky?
Look at these kooky shots. They got the cameraman on the apron with that little, and a third nut shot. Again, directly in front of the referee. How does Rick Steiner have balls? You have to ask yourself that. Robert, right now, you have to be questioning the testicular fortitude of one Rick Steiner at the hands of his own brother. It's the third time he's done it direct. Well, this is a no DQ match, right? It doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, yeah.
But did it matter in the tag team title match beforehand?
Not at all.
Crowd's really into Rick Steiner, though. This reminds me of like post coming out Big Papa Pump. Scott was always fun. Promos were always ridiculous, right? But his cardio was gone at some point, right? Oh, he went to like catch him with like a Luthez press, and Rick Steiner did a complete big body throw on him. That was pretty cool. Rick looking pretty gassed here. He's been in the ring a long time here.
Oh yeah, he can't work that much.
Big belly to belly suplex from Rick to Scott. Someone trying to run into the ring with a Bill Clinton mask on. They're shooting him. Can't recall this angle. Stevie Ray giving him the mic. This is so overdone.
Is it Virgil?
No, he's hitting him with a slapjack. Oh, and he just hit Charles Robinson with a slapjack. And it is Buff Bagwell who ran to the back to put on a Bill Clinton Halloween mask, because it's Halloween, right? And when the most popular lame Halloween costume, and Charles Robinson now is going to count the finish of the match because but Scott's going to kick out, even though Charles Robinson is knocked out.
Even though the bell has rung.
Even though the bell is rung, Buff Bagwell is kind of Weekend at Bernie's moving Charles Robinson's body around as if he's a puppet. After interfering in the match, this now the second match he's interfered in a row. This is so overdone.
The bell has rung. What is happening here?
Scott Steiner just hit Rick with a Frankensteiner off the top rope. And Rick's going to get cut again.
The bell has rung.
What is going on? What is going on? Buff Bagwell's in a tag team match. He turned on Rick, left to go put on a suit in a Bill Clinton match, to run around to the other side of the arena to cheat. They're literally doing a month of television in 20 minutes. Man. Bobby Heenan is talking about how he's done this for 20 minutes now. Rick's gonna maybe get a top rope bulldog on his brother. Yeah, it was sloppy, but another referee coming in here. Nick Patrick counting to 3, and it's over.
No way. What do you mean?
That was the most overbooked.
Oh my god.
That was the most overbooked insanity. This is an hour and 45 minutes. We've seen many matches. We've seen two Disco Inferno matches. We've seen a tag team title match in which one man wins the tag team titles. And then that leads to a disqualification match in which that man's tag team partner, who turned on him just 10 minutes earlier, is back to turn on him yet again, dressed as Bill Clinton, sweating like crazy with a 3-bar goatee.
Bagwell was screaming for Monica.
Monica. Did you? Oh, because this is 1998. This is the height of the Monica Lewinsky angle. They had to do some political satire there.
Are we getting an actual video package?
We're getting the history of Hall and Nash breaking up here. The outsiders here. Yeah, they were closer than brothers. The guy they had on the voiceover for WCW was super over. Because this is the height of NWO Wolfpack stuff now. Red and black.
Yep. We've got the...
Did they already break up Wolfpack by this point?
No.
Man, they were working the personal crisis stuff into angles in October '98. That was a testy thing they liked to do a lot back then, and still have done since. Saying that maybe the demons of Scott Hall got in the way here.
Yep.
Benjamins. He did this because of money, and Scott Hall apparently is wrestling quote unquote drunk here in some fights leading up to this.
It's very weird that they're like, hey, he's a drunk.
Yeah. Oh, Nash saying it's last call, because you're drinking too much. And then here he is barfing on Eric Bischoff. Then they do a cut to Scott Hall in his wrestling gear doing all this
At a bar.
Man. That last match was effing ridiculous, right? That
last match about zapped my energy.
It's going to take a lot for you to get back into the show. Robert, I'm sorry I made you do this on a Sunday.
Oh shit! There's a sign. One of the tombstones says Crockett.
Oh no! Are you serious? Oh, you're talking about what the tombstones say?
Yeah.
The tombstones and the entrances for these Halloween Havoc shows were always inside jokes, right?
I like that. It literally says Crockett. That's funny.
Of course, NWA the Mid-Atlantic territory was bought by Turner Broadcasting, turned into WCW, and he's walking. Is he drinking water? Is the illusion that he's off there drinking booze? He's supposed to be drinking some clear booze as he comes down to the ring. Man, this is really controversial, especially when you consider how much problems.
When you consider how much worse it's actually going to get for him,
yeah. And then the issues he would have with his hip and his body and different things after that. Tony Schiavone saying he needs therapy and help. Boom, boom, don't. Ooh, the Wolfpack theme was a fun Wolfpack theme. Hey, Robert, you better watch out. You may end up in a body bag, okay, buddy?
Oh. I know it.
This is a fun hoot, right? Are you guys enjoying this? If you're enjoying this, give this video a like. Remember, if you want to win the prize pack,
I could have done without like 3 of the matches on this show.
You only know 3 of the matches on this show?
I could have done without 3 of the matches on the
first
show.
Pyro of the night. Kevin Nash gets it 2 hours in. We waited for Pyro.
Nitro Girls had Pyro. Don't diss the Nitro Girls.
Man, Nash was tall, wasn't he? Wasn't he huge? Oh, look at this NWO glazed hat. Do you see that glittery NWO hat?
That is amazing. Oh, she's doing something at the
Oh, you saying that she's going to be hanging out in the hotel lobby trying to meet some of the wrestlers?
I believe so, yes.
Nash does not think that Hall is ready to compete here as a cup of water is thrown in his face. Was this all just a ruse? Was this all just a ruse to get him to fight? I remember at the time reading about this in WOW magazine, World of Wrestling magazine, which had holographic covers, and I thought that was very, very cool in 1998. The height of ECW, WWE, and WCW at the same time. and reading the article about this and thinking like, why are they doing this? These guys are so popular. If they're gonna go this route, it's so unclear as to what team they're on. You just hit him with a mic on the head.
It's a little too confusing.
Yeah. But everything was so over at the time. So I guess maybe like the storyline consistency wasn't as important as just let's get the angles and let's do this stuff. Did he just blood capsule himself here, Kevin Nash?
He might have, yes.
Yeah, he's bleeding from the mouth.
Just, pop it in your mouth, and you're good.
And is he already choked out here on a television cable?
No, I think he was just remembering that Lodi versus Saturn match.
He was throwing up in the mouth after watching that match earlier in the show.
Yeah.
Man, they're brawling around the ring.
Make them say, "Ah!" Yeah,
is that one of the signs?
Yeah.
Master P, dude. Master P was. Oh, this is pre-Master P in WCW, right?
This is pre-Master P in WCW, but Conan was already about it. Like, what do you?
How you guys doing? If you're still with us, man, people popping in and out throughout the night. Thank you.
You know damn well James Espanto Fernando is with us.
He's with us. The hardcore, the boys are rolling deep with us here into hour 2 of this watch long. That is long. When we do these,
Hall is on the mic.
This is weird. This is such a weird show for such a popular time in wrestling.
It's like a 3-hour Nitro before they went into 3 hours, or maybe while they were at 3 hours. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Good point, man. Is he supposed to sound drunk here still?
I think he was perpetually supposed to sound drunk.
Kevin Nash going to continue? Is he going to fight back from all this different stuff here? Is that 7-foot guy going to get choked out by a cable, but the other dude who got beat up by a giant and his brother for 20 minutes was able to come back? Ridiculous. Discus.
Oh
that's how you really sell a move, is you add discus to it.
I mean, when you do that little spin, it adds the oomph you need to go.
It adds.
Bam.
It makes the punch mean so much more when you spin around in a circle. Guy, everyone knows it's going to hurt more.
I thought they were saying bull crap, but no, they're saying walk back.
They're saying I said boo earns.
I was saying boo earn.
Boo earns.
Hans Moleman presents Man Getting Hit by Football.
He got hit by the football right in the back. Look at him.
Oh my God! The football's in the groin! Stop the contest!
Stop the match! Stop the film festival!
Football in the groin!
Of course, making a big Simpsons reference. One of the more disappointing video games of all time also came out at this time because wrestling's super popular, and the Simpsons are still very, very popular.
Oh my God, it's awful.
Is the Simpsons wrestling game huge
Simpsons
disappointment?
Wrestling is like, it's like if you're making a Reese's and you're like, hey, you got chocolate in my peanut butter.
Yes,
hey,
you're like, that should be good.
Chocolate. Hey, wait a minute, that's not chocolate, it's shit.
Oh, Robert. MJF says that you're like paint drying. Come on now.
Nah, I love Maxwell. I hope he takes Jericho to Sam's in Long Island and they eat a nice steak with some fish.
Crowd's really popping. A sleeping giant is awake, even though that sleeping giant is laying on the ring. And the actual giant is a smoking giant. We had a smoking giant on this show.
We got a smoking giant, a drunk, former Cuban coke dealer.
Mickey J is the referee on this.
Referee Mickey J, yes.
And he is wearing a white collared shirt with a bow tie. Charles Robinson had baby blue. Let's get some uniformity here with these referees.
It looks baby blue enough if you're not paying attention. What are you paying attention to the referee for? You got two former champions in the ring duking it out.
Nash is on wobbly legs here, and because when you're real tall, someone should just punch you. Let's not do a lot of dynamic things here for a 7-footer. And Nash.
To be clear, like he's really tall, but Hall is big.
Yeah, Hall was a deceptively tall guy.
I don't even know if it's so much as it's deception.
Especially when you see them next to each other.
But like he became so.
Went for that jackknife powerbomb right away.
He became so glued to Scott that like he seemed short, but he really wasn't.
Yeah, especially when you see them in photos and stuff like that all the time. Oh, ladies like what Nash ripped off his shirt there and wiped. These
ladies have popped for much on this show.
Yeah, I bet Nash was a popular guy on the road back in the day.
I believe so. I would say so. He did Magic Mike. We saw what he had to offer in his older age.
Good on Kevin Nash. He recently went through some different issues with leg injuries and different things that caught up with him. Had a lot of severe muscle atrophy issues later in life.
Well, let me tell you, stem cells, buddy.
He is someone who's talked big about stem cells being a big reason why he was able to recuperate and be able to come back and have a better quality of life now. I think he's definitely had. I remember in the 90s he was talking about having in the mid 90s, even at this time, saying that he had gone under the knife over a dozen times on knee surgeries.
What?
Hall slapping him in the back of the leg on this arm lock here. How do you put an arm lock on a guy that big, And of course, you get pulled into a big clothesline here. A lot of lumbering offense from the top of the car guys in WCW at this time. When you saw the cruiser guys work so fast and so big. God bless you, Robert. I'm really putting you through the ring.
Hold on. No. See, the problem is, like, I have a dual monitor set up, and I have seen
you're doing some work on the other screen.
I have seen something that has caught my eye that has just what? Like,
we got some breaking news on a Sunday night?
No, not at all.
Man, when Nash would do that big leg layover on it, such a tall guy that always looked really, really cool. Handful of things that Nash would do, like with his height, looked really, really awesome. Also, a guy that should be wearing long pants like that.
I love Kevin Nash's gear. You know what? I'll be real. Like growing up, a huge wrestling fan,
it was
kid? Like hard for me to realize. Normal people can't like find cool shit to just wear in real life.
Oh man, that's the big thing in independent locker rooms is when guys get gear, like everyone wants to know what your new gear looks like. If you're trying something with your gear, you're trying something different. That is definitely something that wrestlers really, really care about, men and women, is when you get new gear, what's your gear going to look like? How does this sell your gimmick?
Do you see like? Go ahead. Look.
What would you say, buddy?
Do you have a signature look?
Do I have a signature look?
Signature Kevin attire on it.
Like for comedy stuff?
Yeah, or for radio.
When I'm doing stand-up, I've been fond of this. An ex-girlfriend got this for me years ago. It was a denim jacket. I like it. I like the tuxedo look. It's kind of the vibe I would wear. I want something that looks a little bit more dressed up version of what I would wear normally, when I'm doing a stand-up show, I want something that looks like I would wear to a party is what I want to wear at stand-up. I got like a good get-together or something like that. I'll wear a t-shirt now and then on stage, but I don't want something that's too bold, or too out there. Open mics, I don't care. Stand-up comedy show, people are paying. I want to make it look a little bit formal. I'm not going to wear a tuxedo or nothing,
So, first of all, you pull off that denim jacket. I've seen you in the denim jacket.
Yeah.
It's a good look for Kevin.
I spilled some beer all over it in Milwaukee.
2/3 through this show, I gotta tell you, this show would have been a lot better without like half of the stuff in the first hour.
Oh man, we could have had more time for Nash and Hall to walk around the room and be drunk and fight each other. What that was cool. Did you see what Nash just did? Did you see what Nash just pantomimed? If you're watching along with this and you're synced up, Nash just pantomimed that he was drinking booze with nothing in his hand, and then closed his fist and punched.
He's having fun making fun of the drunk.
I was gonna. Yep, this is acceptable at the time. Make fun of the drunks.
Well, listen, it's not that it's acceptable to make fun of somebody with an issue. It's that he tried to help his friend, and at some point you're gonna be like, "Hey, listen, guy, I'm trying to help you. And if you don't want my help, I'm gonna beat the crap out of you."
People bring up his previous gimmick in the early 90s before he went over to WWE. Kevin Nash wrestled in WCW's Vinny Vegas. All right.
They are in Vegas. I wonder if
Yeah, and he also wrestled as Oz, the great and powerful Oz. Not a very popular gimmick.
Would have been great for Halloween Havoc, though.
I think they did that on Halloween Havoc, didn't they?
No, he never got to pay-per-view with
and
Oz.
that I understand that was a real big Warner Media TBS decision because they had the rights to Wizard of Oz for a period of time that they could use a character like that. And they had this big overdone entrance at a pay-per-view, and they had like people dressed up as Dorothy and like all these different things. And here's Oz, but here's the big power bomb here. Possibly here's another pantomime drink from Nash as he's about to power bomb his tag team partner. Big jackknife. Ooh. Hall took all of that on his shoulders and back. That looked brutal.
Best in the business.
You like that?
Best power bomb in the business.
You think that's the best power bomb in the business? Him just lifting you up and letting you drop?
Yeah, I think Nash knows how to do it.
Crowd wants another one. They're calling for a double. And Tony Schiavone just said, think he'll have a double.
Well, he made the double joke when he was kneeing him in the corner. He's really playing along with the alcohol gimmick.
Does Scott Hall hit him in the balls here? Do we get another nut shot on this show?
I definitely think Scott Hall manages to win somehow.
We've had 4 nut shots in front of the referees on tonight's show. Oh, he's getting up for the power arm. Can he do another one? Ooh, that one looked even more brutal than the one before it. Another jackknife power bomb, because you're supposed to twist and land on those, and you're taking those like you don't get to have the momentum where you can take the bump flat. You're taking it at a curve, and Nash is stepping over him and giving him the suckets right over him and is walking out of the ring. Did he pin him, or is he just walking out of the ring?
Well, the win doesn't matter.
He's going to let Scott Hall win this match by countout and not pin him. So Nash walks out on this. I don't recall this.
I don't recall this either.
And Nash is laid out, and he gets his hand raised while he's laying out on the bottom of the ring. And he's out. And that's it. And he got power bombed into oblivion. And Nash didn't pin him and just walked out and said, "I'm done with this."
Who's gonna bring him up to the back?
What a way to kill the momentum of this match.
Yeah, very strange.
And you can see it with the crowd here too. Not saying the crowd doesn't hate this, but it has sucked the life out of this crowd.
The thing that sucks about this show is that it's got all the makings of a good show, and they keep going.
Overdoing it, overbooking it.
So much crap.
And Nash is getting up right now, and he's dazed. Is he drunk, or did he just have a match where he got beat up really bad and won by a count out? They're saying a memorable night and a memorable match. Is that memorable for the right reasons? You had two Hall of Fame guys
to not be memorable.
But that's
as far as the match.
That was a wonky finish. What was the point of Nash powerbombing
Because he didn't care about actually beating him. Wins and losses don't matter.
They should, though. This guy was your tag team partner. We got Nitro Girls again now with colored wigs.
No, we don't.
And
oh my God!
And they have pyro.
I told you they got pyro. They got pyro before. You don't diss the Nitro Girls.
I will say this is a much more of a dance oriented number. No gimmicks this time.
The gimmicks are the hair colors. Yeah,
gimmicks are the hair colors, but there's more movement. There's more movement here. I'm liking more movement.
You got Pinky. You got Blue Girl. You got Limeade.
I will say this: the Nitro Girls always look like they're having fun. Crowd still into the Nitro Girls.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I would need the Nitro Girls to wake me up too. Like, it's been a long show.
I'm sorry,
I can listen.
Robert, I knew at some point I was going to apologize for making you just burn your Sunday night on this. But and if you guys are still with us, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you're having a really good time. I hope the stream quality is still good for you guys.
Listen to Bret Hart's shitty WCW theme.
Oh man.
Hey, this guy less than 12 months ago was the hottest topic in wrestling. I don't know why I just started talking like this, but you know, the guy has a sign that says Sniffer 316. What?
This was the big put 316 in anything.
Forget the rest. Bret Hart is the best. That's cute. Hello, you redhead in the crowd.
Hey,
hello, overall girl.
Did they go back to the hot girl with the velvet?
Where the hell's Bret Hart? What are we doing with the show? Like,
they've been playing this intro music for a while. We have not seen Bret Hart yet. You can't hear the comment. Oh, here's Bret Hart. You can't hear the commentary or anything underneath him, right? Robert, you can't hear the commentary or anything underneath.
I can. Right? Yes, I can.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay, let me turn that down a little bit. I don't want that to come up in the feed too much.
Oh, no, I mean, I can hear the commentary because I have commentary. I don't hear your audio. That's
all right. For you guys in the feed, I just want to make sure I'm not putting out any audio from WCW while we're watching this. Let me know if I am. People saying red and black Sting. I never liked the way the makeup looked.
I don't like the fact that he's got that douchebag goatee. Dude,
yeah, he was doing the makeup with the goatee at this point, right?
Yeah.
He had to fit in with the boys and do the goatee, right?
He's got that Buff Bagwell, like, I'm a cool guy. I think after the show I'll ride a Harley and listen to some Toby Keith. Is Toby Keith a thing at this point?
It was gonna be soon. And then he's coming out to like the Wolfpack theme, which doesn't fit him. Oh, they go back to the lady who has the glitter hat on with the NWO letters.
Oh yeah.
And she's wearing a blazer. She's serious.
Yeah.
Sting is hitting the pumpkin with his bat as he walks out to the ring.
He's also going through some
this has to be the worst look for Sting. The goatee on top of the makeup.
Yeah.
And this is this is like a year removed. How far are we from Starrcade 97 now?
We're not even a year. Both of these guys.
Two sweeting people into the ring. Super huge star. Doesn't feel nearly as big a star as he was when
both of these guys should be in the main event.
Or near it, you know.
And like maybe in their opinion they are. This is a US title match.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're third from the card. Yeah, poor Bret is still underneath Hogan and Warrior. Probably driving him nuts. You know?
Is he in the NWO at this point?
He never officially goes in the NWO.
He like almost does, right?
The excellence of everything. You got that one wrong, sweetie.
Bret Hart with a consistently wet hair.
He's got great hair. I wish I had his hair.
Dude, I wish I had hair. What are you talking about? You know what
I mean? I wish, I look at you, Kevin, and I know that I need to stop myself from going in that direction.
Oh, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
Hey, we're friends. But I gotta tell you the truth, Ski.
What's that?
Like I gotta tell you the truth, Ski.
The truth, Ski? You mean the real? The down
I
low?
look at you and I'm like, oh boy, I need to save my head of hair.
All right, here. Yeah, you burned on me pretty bad here. They're saying that's Money Warrior. I guess the big money was on the show. Warrior got a lot of money to come over here for this show. People bringing up money in the chat here. Hart Wrestling for $2.5 billion a year.
Yeah, I guess you can't complain when you're wrestling for $2.5 million.
Yeah, and I like this one. This is a great comment here from Bacon of the Ark. What a tag! What a tag of a name here.
Hell yeah.
Saying WCW most stacked roster in history, but no management. How do you mess up a roster with Hogan, Macho, Piper, Eddie, Ray, Jericho, Raven, DDP, Booker T, etc.? Yeah, they had so much talent.
If you look at it, and genuinely, with the exception of of like Shawn, Austin, and like the guys who are on top of the Attitude Era right now as this show is going on, WCW at this point has like the future world champions and the past world champions in WWE.
Yeah,
of like the next decade.
Like, yeah, if you stack up every individual guy at this point, like WWE had, like, they had Undertaker, you know, they had Austin, who was blowing up at this point, right? But Rock wasn't there just yet. He was coming along, right? And they had supporting players and they had some cool stuff, but their brand of attitude came off as so much more meaner, and young men really got on board with that. And the things that WCW was doing in 96, 97, WWE had found a way to kind of take those notes and tell those stories more. And
I think the problem with this stuff is that a lot of the top players seem like, you know, older men, but they're rugged and they have attitude, but they seem older. Whereas like Triple H captures the spirit of the youth, you know, like I would say DX captures the spirit of like the stoner group.
Yeah, and this is Shawn's out of the picture now at this point.
Shawn is out of the picture.
Yeah.
Rock captures the spirit of like the swaggy black man at the time.
Yeah.
And you know, Austin's your everyman, and like these guys, they don't connect in that way.
And they got too indulgent with a bunch of different things, you know, in terms of what was over. The NWO was over, and they said, let's do a red and black version so we can sell more merchandise and stuff like that. You know, it was there were some
what
things.
What other promotion do we know that gets too indulgent with things?
Oh, Robert, what are you talking about here?
I guess.
Are you referencing a wrestling promotion that is on Turner Network Television right now?
I did not reference a network that was a company that's on Turner Network Television.
Come on.
I just said that maybe
Robert, you want to make paint dry? What are you trying to do here?
I mean, I'm just doing what I came to do.
Sting and Bret Hart in the ring. Bret Hart, I mean, he had a handful of very fun matches in WCW, but he's made it clear that he really did not like his time there. He was really not a fan of his time, and has even gone on saying, "I wish I didn't have to go there. I wish I didn't have to do that." To
well, you didn't. You chose to, bro. Like
he chose to. But you know, and
put on your big boy pants and accept the decisions that you made.
take that big check that you got and try to have some great matches with it. But it was another problem. WCW had so many guys that they just kind of had to stall or wait to do things with. And this is near the end of Bischoff's time running it, right?
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
And you know, and Giant's on his way out, and he was on his way out. At this point, Jericho's trying to get out. You know,
Jericho will be out in less than a year. Giant's out in less than 4 months. Bret is unfortunately going to be out for a little bit, about 6 months from now, because of Owen's tragic passing.
Yes.
So like Hogan's going to be out soon. It's real bad. Like
it is. And another problem that WCW has, and you see WWE doing it even now, over 22 years later, is they really saw the benefit of developing their own stars in house.
I really feel like 5 years before this match would be legit, and it would be like we have to talk about this match all the time.
Oh, you're saying if this match was this is 98. So if they were doing this in 94, 95, it would be a much bigger
Yeah, like this match would be a banger, man.
Yeah. Brett trying to work heel here and give Sting the big
Well,
flair.
he is the heel here.
Yeah. Wow.
Why is he just wearing mechanics gloves?
he did like that when he in late 90s Sting, he wanted to wear gloves, and he wore the gloves until his final match.
Oh, like they're just straight up mechanical gloves. Like I know this because like I eventually got my hands on a pair and used to love that because I was like, oh, it's the gloves that Sting wear.
You've gotten your hands greasy with a go-kart here and there?
I'm not saying I got them greasy with a go-kart. I'm just saying I got my hands inside a pair of those gloves.
People saying Brett better as a heel here. They definitely want to say that.
Let's be real. Bacon in the Arc says, let's be real. A random Nitro is better than any pay-per-view of the WWE 2000s era.
Don't agree with that at all.
The issue. I hope AEW doesn't become TNA light.
I don't agree with that line at all.
I think that they I don't agree with anything you said here, Bacon. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because a random Nitro is not better than any pay-per-view from WWE in the 2000s. And AEW has already well surpassed TNA.
Fig Freak saying he was down with the Wolfpack, better than the NWO. Were you down with Wolfpack, NWO?
Oh, well, red, Kevin. The color red really spoke to me. I mean, clearly I was reading Wrestlezone at a very young age. The color red really, really spoke to me.
Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you still enjoy it, hit that like button as well. You're popping in with us all throughout the night. This is just a low-key wrestling party, man.
Yeah, at this point, no, I love the people in the comments, but at this point, I'm watching a wrestling show with my friend Kevin.
Yeah, and you guys just get to hang out and say stuff to us while we're doing it. I'm stretching my legs out at this point. I really do.
That's why I'm like, yeah, you might see me, get distracted by Twitter, but that's because I'm just chilling with the boys.
Chilling with the boys.
B. Brian Blair liked the tweet of us doing this watch along. That's real. That's a
from the Killer Bees.
Yeah.
You want to hear a funny story? Is Bret Hart and Sting are going at it here? I had a buddy, Jimmy O'Brien, back in high school, and knew how much I love wrestling. Bret Hart going off for the top rope. Oh, got caught. Is he going to be in the Scorpion Deathlock? It's Sharpshooter versus Scorpion Deathlock in this, right? Bret Hart way too close to the ropes there. He's going to get up.
Well, it's sharp. That's another thing. They're not playing up the Scorpion versus Sharpshooter enough.
And of course, they had a match on TV just 6 days before this to build up to this that had a sort of dusty finish to leave this one open-ended. My friend Jimmy O'Brien in high school, Brother Ice, Boys Catholic High School, you ever have a friend who just does something that's so ridiculous and it just catches you in a certain way that you can't stop laughing at it? And it's not even like conceptually the funniest thing. It just, that person does it in a certain way and you just can't control yourself with it, right? My friend Jimmy O'Brien would do this not great Macho Man impression, but it was just this characterization that he would do. And it was just about him yelling obscure wrestling characters. And I just couldn't control myself. And I fell out of the chair laughing every time he did it. And one of the times he just said the Killer Bees. Like, it was the more obscure, the more ridiculous it was to me, that he would do this. And he did this with every obscure, to the point where people printed out a sheet of obscure wrestling characters in the computer hall and brought it to him during the lunch period the next day to read, and make me like lose my mind and spit milk out of my nose. Oh, what's Bret Hart doing here? What's Bret Hart doing here? He's got something hidden in those tights. He's got something hidden in those tights.
This is so not Bret Hart.
Is the ref gonna catch that? Oh, Sting's gonna catch it. Sting's gonna catch it, and Sting's gonna put it on his hand, and the ref is going to blatantly see it and stop him from doing it. Oh, and we get our fourth nut shot of the night. No, what is that? 5?
Probably 5th. Like,
Bret Hart nuts him from behind. The ref didn't see it. It didn't matter earlier in the night when we had a tag team title match when Scott Steiner did it to his brother 3 times. Then they had a no DQ match where obviously it didn't matter. Then in this match, the ref turns it. How many times are they going to do that? That's so redundant.
Yeah, but he hit him in the penis, definitely.
And he did hit him in the penis and the general taintal region.
The what?
Taintal region. As it's known in medical circles, the chode.
Oh yeah, I know those doctors.
Now, Robert, that specific space in your body is between your. I don't want us to get booted off the things here.
Yeah, we're still a family program.
Yeah. We're a family show. Nut shots and dancing nitro girls. This is a family show. For sure. You guys are on here. Yes, it is Nutshot City tonight. Hashtag Nutshot City. Yeah, definitely here. People with different takes about this show. Continue to chime in here. Brandon Herrera joining us as well. Thank you guys for watching. If you're just jumping in, we're watching Halloween Havoc, and this is a fun, ridiculous show. We still have 2 more matches to go. I've made Robert watch this whole show with me while he's also working. While he's also working at the same time. Thank you for doing that, Robert.
Well, I'm always doing stuff. Tomorrow I'll be recording with Rest Friends.
So, what are you doing with our friends, Rest Friends?
I think we're just gonna chill. We're just gonna chat. We're just gonna
talk it up.
We're just gonna talk it up. You know. Mm-hmm.
Who's going to win this? That's not good. It's a good thing that I don't know who's going to win this, and it's a bad thing that I don't remember who wins this when watching this classic show.
I believe that the person who I think is a bigger deal wins this match. What the hell? Here's a picture of Orange Cassidy in the Walmart dudes.
He's just in a Walmart?
No, you know those 2 guys who beat the crap out of each other in Walmart?
Oh,
and they do,
like, you mean the 2 dudes that do like backyard stuff? And
yeah.
Go places and they'll have Jim Ross commentary over everything they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just want to go viral.
I think they're going to be doing stuff with Orange Cassidy. So hey.
Yeah. Well. Oh.
What happened to the ref?
Oh. So. Sting's on the apron here. I don't know if you were looking at the screen there. Sting's on the apron, just a back elbow. You think Bret Hart's trying to sneak behind him there.
Bret Hart have
and he elbows the referee. Because the referee's trying to get him back in the ring. Sting can't see him, right? And he elbows the referee. And then Bret Hart gives a leg drop to the back of the ref's head.
Why? That's not necessary. None of it. The show is so off the rails for no reason.
Bret Hart had to leap over the referee who's still selling this back elbow.
This is amazing. Why? Bro, why are you checking on the ref?
Did you hear about Edith? He's like, I don't know, he dropped his knees, he got kicked in the gut. That referee needs to reposition himself here.
No, he doesn't.
I don't know. I hope no one lands on him. He landed right in the center of the ring. He didn't find a corner, you know. Superplex off the top. Oh, they landed on the ref's leg. On a superplex off the top rope. The ref still down, holding the back of his neck. What is this show?
Yeah, this is a mess. And I didn't think it was that bad. I actually was looking forward to this.
Yeah.
And this is a wreck.
This is like an easy toss-up home run. Sting and Bret Hart go out there, have a banger. You know what I mean? And have Bret be. But I don't know if Bret works like a heel like this. With him trying to do is he gonna try? He's gonna try and do a brass knuckles or something like that. He just took a stinger splash to the back, right?
There's too much. He hit his head.
Did he legitimately hit his head?
No, but that's the bit they're going for.
Oh, he just hit him in the back with a baseball
Oh, what
bat.
a mess. Hit him harder, man.
Oh, like, God. Ow. I hope that's a gimmicked bat.
There's too much going on here.
Oh, man.
It's Brett versus Sting. Why are you putting a hat on a hat on a hat?
Like, yes, this is a hat on a hat. Now, Brett is going to go up to the top and do that like that. You know, that bionic elbow he would do, but with a baseball bat.
Brett on the middle rope is
Brett's still trying to be technical and work the middle rope.
The referee is down like he's never been touched before in his life.
He's gonna rub his hair. He's gonna rub his hair. You see how he's trying to wake the ref up?
Right, hey, Tiger.
Hey there, buddy. How are you?
How wake you
up. Car's home. Here we go, buddy. We're almost home. All right. He's gonna rub his hair. Look at him talking to the ref the whole time he puts a sharpshooter on the Sting here. One more arm drop and he's done, right? It's over. And that sucked.
Oh, wow.
That is such a bad finish for Bret Hart and Sting, right? Like when you have two guys, you have the sharpshooter versus the sharpshooter. You could do the whole match on that, right? You could do the whole match.
And what is this song? Isn't that the song he came in with?
Oh no, they have some stock music that they're using or something like that. Yeah, this isn't the song he came out to.
What's happening here?
Dude, why did they have to go that route? You know?
I didn't understand any of this.
And they did this with Nash too, where it's like Nash, pin him. You powerbombed him twice. This is your big revenge on your tag team partner that's gone the wrong way, right? And you walk out of the ring and it doesn't matter if you win or lose. And it's like, well, then why is someone cheating so desperately in the next match to win or lose? It's their logic is all over the place. This is something where you got to ask yourself, and this isn't me taking a shot at anyone. It's like, is someone only steering the ship sometimes for certain storylines and not for others?
I don't know.
Sting really selling this bat attack here, huh? Whenever they have a wrestler laid out this wrong, you always think it's like worrisome, right?
Who's yelling?
Oh, they're gonna do the stretcher job on him here.
I don't know if this is necessary.
Did they follow this up?
I couldn't tell you. Dude, we have 45 minutes to go, and there's 2 matches left. And one of those matches is Hogan.
Robert, I'm so sorry.
One of those matches is Hogan and Warrior. Like, I don't understand how we still have 45 minutes to go.
You're still my friend, right?
Why did we have Lenny or Lodi versus Saturn?
Robert, I have to ask. We're still friends, right?
We are still friends, yes.
Okay, that's important. We're still friends.
This is the black guy in the whole night, Shivani, not the Scott Hall Kevin Nash issue.
People asking any updates on WrestleMania 37. They spoofed it at the debate as WrestleMania 37.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
On Saturday Night Live. Oh, they did a WrestleMania spoof. I did not catch SNL from that.
I have 2 monitors. I'm gonna keep a Sting stretcher job on the one. That's the Saturday Night Live.
I do have to catch it up. I'm a Sunday night watcher of SNL. I've been enjoying it. Anytime we get an election season, you got to watch it. I really enjoyed the Bill Burr episode. People thought he went a little bit too far. It was very, very funny. Some good stuff in there. every time they would do these stretcher jobs as a kid, these always worried me. And I feel Sting is okay here. You know, they did some stuff with him. Hopefully it's all right, right? But maybe the idea was to not have Sting on TV for a while after this. Man, of course, Sting didn't have the run people wanted him to have in WWE, but you know, do you think he maybe stayed in WCW too long? I'm of the camp that I think he did. I think if he would have jumped, it would have been a little bit more compelling.
Boy, okay, I gotta tell you, they're really dragging this out. They had no control of the time.
Yes, here. Who is running the clock on this show?
So the bit that they're talking about here is they're spoofing the town halls, how they were dueling at the same time.
Yes.
And Biden, played by Jim Carrey, does the full Mr. Rogers bit where he's doing the "Please Won't You Be My Neighbor," and he goes, "Will you be my neighbor?" to George Stephanopoulos. He says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was watching the Trump debate, the Trump town hall. They're really going at it." And it's Savannah Guthrie and Trump, and they have the WrestleMania 37 logo where Guthrie turns him around and then beats him over the head with a steel chair. So very.
Did Trump get hit with a steel chair?
Trump gets hit with the chair, of course.
Hell yeah, dude! That's what I'm rooting for, man. Heels got to sell for baby faces, baby.
Meanwhile, they cut back to Biden, and he's now Bob Ross.
Oh man, we're now coming up here on the main selling point of this pay-per-view, which is Hulk Hogan versus, as they stretcher out Sting, Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior. This is a follow-up to WrestleMania 6, just about 8 years earlier.
Almost 9 years.
9 years? Almost 9 years, right? And this was a big get. This was a huge get for WCW to get Ultimate Warrior, who at this point had not wrestled in, what, 6? Maybe, no, at least 4 years, because he had a very, very brief run in 1996. So he had been out of the scene while wrestling was super, super popular. In 97, 98, he was out of the scene, right? So They get him. They sign him to a big money deal. They give him all the cushy things he wants. And this doesn't turn out well, to the point where even Eric Bischoff in his book, Controversy Creates Cash, the first time they put Warrior on television to build this match, he cuts this long, lumbering promo that isn't really dialed in on some things.
No, it's just like it's the equivalent of the show. It's just rambling on and on and on. Why are we rambling on? Why do we need a Hogan promo 2 hours ago? I don't remember a damn thing he said. Do you?
Yeah.
Like, if I had to cover this show, if I was on the Wrestlezone team back with God knows who, probably Brian Clark, back in 1998, I would be tearing this a new one. By the way, this sucks because in real life, he came out to Voodoo Child this night. But we can't get the rights to Voodoo Child. Because
highlights of this storyline is Hulk Hogan comes out to the ring, and we now have Hollywood Hulk Hogan, a heel, taking on a babyface Ultimate Warrior. Highlights of this storyline included a kidnapping and conversion of the Disciple.
Oh yeah,
all right. And magic, and this was converting the NWO Disciple to the One Warrior Nation to oppose the NWO.
You ever been converted?
This build also had ridiculousness with a lot of backstage shenanigans. They did a ghost mirror trick in which Hulk Hogan saw Ultimate Warrior in the mirror. They did magic smoke, knocking out members of the NWO for Hulk Hogan, covering the Warrior's movement to get out of the trap
you ever
door.
have magic smoke?
Hey, now I can't say that publicly. So they had a trap door set in a ring on a show. I believe this was a Clash of Champions, maybe. And that trap door,
it's a fall brawl.
Yeah, it was a fall brawl. That trap door contributed to an injury that nearly
suffered by Davey Boy Smith.
Yeah,
and essentially ruins his back and gets him hooked on painkillers and leads to his untimely passing. The Ultimate Warrior's WCW run leads to Davey Boy Smith's downfall. That's awful. Those two things should not be correlated.
He can't be called the Ultimate Warrior. He's just the Warrior now.
Well, no, because he changed his name to Warrior.
He legally owns it. He's Jim Warrior Hell.
He's not even he's not even Jim. He's Warrior. I mean,
do you think his friends and family called him that?
Of course they did. Dana and the kids, when he passed, signed their names as Dana Warrior. Like that's
okay.
On the one hand, that's super rad. Like
he's doing the run in place thing. Is he going to run to the ring?
No, he's not.
He's charging up here. Oh, here he is. He's running down to the ring.
You know, I kind of like the theme song.
All right, he's going in. He's all rocked up, you know?
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen this go a little bit longer if it was any good. You know, like Warrior versus Goldberg.
Warrior looks like he's in great shape here. He's got the big feathered hair. He's got the ridiculous airbrush jacket on. Oh, did you hear the stock lightning? Lightning
Hell yeah!
In the background.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah, dude. Some of this stuff was like really big. Like the lighting effects in the 90s were a huge thing. They were much more important then. For intros. I remember seeing SummerSlam 94, I've told you about, being a formative experience in my youth. And they did an entrance for The Undertaker that by today's standards would be considered tame, but at the time was magical to me. You know, magical to see like a star like that come out. And the entrance he had. Crowd pretty responsive to the Warrior here when he came out.
Hell yeah. Well, he's the Warrior. Like, he's still the Warrior.
Mm-hmm. There's gonna be a lot of posing here. There's gonna be a lot of like waiting to get their time into this. They're gonna wait to dance here, man. And you can see Hogan.
There's gonna be Horace Hogan. That's what you need.
Oh, Horace will play a role in this one, unfortunately.
Hey, it's that one fan they keep going back to.
So they had 2 pay-per-views to get to this, huh?
Yeah, because they did the stuff. They were both in the War Games match at Fall Brawl, and then they did the stuff here.
Now, many people have called this one of the worst wrestling main events to ever be staged.
Now, Hulk Hogan just promised to murder the Ultimate Warrior, which, as we both know, does not happen here.
No.
He does not commit a felony.
It's worth noting that Warrior only participated in 3 WCW matches. The first being at Fall Brawl, a War Games match, and he was on an 8-man tag team match. And he also participated. I'm trying to make sure I read my notes here. And of course, this would be the 3rd of those matches. He had a small match on Nitro, very short one. And so
you gloss over the Nitro match. It's Hogan, and I want you to really let this sink into your brains.
Mm-hmm.
Hogan and Brett in a tag team against Sting and Warrior,
which should be a huge deal.
That could sell out a pay-per-view right now.
That's a huge deal. That's like a match you make in a video game now if you have the characters and everything, right? Bell's ringing. They're in the ring. Warrior still has his big airbrush jacket on, but no, he's going to take it off. He's going to show off that body. He's been working for this.
Yeah, he looks pretty good.
It's worth noting they spent a lot of money on Warrior just for these 3 matches here. He's been on the ring now for nearly 2 years. Brief run with WWE in the mid-90s, wrestling on WrestleMania 12. Pinning Triple H in 20 seconds.
Yes.
And wouldn't agree to some appearances and different things at the time. Had a goofy in-ring segment on Raw in that period with Jerry the King Lawler.
Distrusty, man.
Hogan with that weight belt on. It was a signature thing he did with the NWO days, wearing those weight belts in the ring.
I will say Warrior looks much better than Hogan.
Oh, not saying Hogan doesn't look bad. This is when Hogan kind of. This is when Hulk kind of leaned out a bit, and like let his height show off his build and stuff like that. He still had the pythons, but Hogan was never an ab guy either, though. He never had the cut six pack or anything like that.
Yeah, but Warrior looks looks like Warrior.
Warrior looks really good here.
Hogan looks a little off. Like, I don't know. I kind of remember the tights being a little more designed than these are.
Yeah, these are bland. He had like more the lightning stuff and
he's not. I'm not feeling Hollywood here.
Hollywood working real Memphis stuff. Go outside the ring, walk around, stay away from the
That's all he knows how to do. That's his mindset of a heel.
He got his heat. Hulk got his heat when he was heel in NWO. But also, we're going to bring up this. He got his heat, but you can't say physically he was super motivated at this time to go out there and have like a finesse banger. He would lean into the sizzle so much at this time. And he's taken how many bumps do you think he takes in this match? He's not going to take a lot of physicality in this.
Three, maybe.
Yeah, and this is before he signs his last WCW deal, which was a huge deal at the time too. To get him.
And it goes to like 2002, but
he barely works on it, like in comparison to what he did before. And at this time, he was only wrestling on pay-per-views and maybe sporadic Monday Night Nitros. You see that test of strength here. Once again, Robert, you're telling me the power lies specifically here. I point my index finger to the middle of my palm.
Right in your palm, like right in that pressure point. That's where all the power lies, Kevin.
Okay. Now, if I want to get the power, I want to focus my energies on that.
Right. Like you see, how Ali does the thing?
Yes.
Like the light is coming from the palm.
Mm-hmm.
That is where your energy lies. That is where your vibes, like everything's in the palm of your hand, Kevin.
Nick Texian here saying Hulk Hogan versus Bret Hart should have happened. I think they did that once or twice.
They did it on a Nitro. It sucked.
And it shouldn't suck. That's not a match that should suck. When you talk about that match, you shouldn't say that sucks. John Kirby here, north of the border in Canada, saying the guy in the green shirt that we laughed about earlier in the pay-per-view was always at pay-per-views in the last couple of years. He was always front row center, whatever happened.
Oh, good. He's one of those fans.
Dude, I'm a fan as someone who watches the old school shows. I love noticing certain people on shows. One of my favorite faces in the crowd that always popped out was bowl cut haircut kid he had a big bowl cut and he was always screaming at the camera like this. He always found a way to get in the front row and get on camera. And he had a bowl cut and he was on a lot of WWE shows. And there was always an online rumor that maybe he just knew someone. That's how he got tickets. Another favorite was Vladimir. Vladimir was a front row.
Oh, Vladimir for sure. I know Vladimir.
He always had short blonde hair. And he had a friend him and his friend went to every WrestleMania. They've been to almost every WrestleMania. And they actually, the friend, kind of an Italian.
He was interviewed by
WWE. They did a piece on him. They did a piece on him going to every WrestleMania. And there was talk that he may have been one of the few fans to get to go to WrestleMania this year, but that didn't happen. Obviously, that didn't happen. Fans throwing trash at the ring. You knew this is a big deal. That was a big WCW thing. Is fans throwing trash at the ring.
And they're chanting boring.
Oh yeah, of course they're doing the
I'm so glad
here.
there were 2 hours, 44 minutes, 35 seconds into this for the fans to chant boring.
Dude, look up in the right-hand corner of this hard cam shot here. Hogan's all glazed up with sweat, and he's doing the knuckle lock here with him. There's a guy in a white polo, hands crossed on hard camera.
Hogan has not bumped yet. Neither has Warrior.
He's taking a bump, right? Oh, Hogan with a big scoop slam there. But Warrior says, I don't care. All right, there we go. Getting the crowd back into it with some body slams. Hogan taking his second bump of the match. Warrior loves to shake those ropes, huh?
I think Warrior should let Hogan sell that a little bit more because he would have freaked out.
and he goes over the top rope and takes a stumble, and they are working at half speed here.
I think my life is moving at half speed.
I'll say this: was Lodi versus Saturn a better match than this?
No.
Was the Rick Steiner tag team Mishigosh, him winning the tag belts and then no DQ?
Again, the issue of a hat on a hat on a hat on a hat. Like,
how do you overdo this? Like, how do you overwrought this? You know, why do you have to make this so confusing and so unnecessary when you have characters that are so established and over, right?
I know.
They love shooting these Dutch angles up close too in WCW at the time too. Oh, they're brawling outside the ring because they want to run the ropes.
They're too young for this. Like, Hogan would do more in his career than he's doing right now.
Mm-hmm. People want to see a test of strength between me and you, Robert. Okay, here we go, Robert. Put your hand up against the screen here.
No. I'm not doing.
Robert's like, no, I want to do it. No. I ain't falling for that trick. I'm too smart.
My strength is up here.
The biggest muscle in my body is my brain.
I'm from Hollywood. What?
Yeah.
I wish I was Andy Kaufman. I would.
Someone told me Bullcut Kid is a hardcore wrestling fan and he has an Instagram and Twitter following. And then someone's saying, did they ban Vladimir from shows? I hope they didn't ban Vladimir from shows. Maybe he just stopped going to shows. Oh, here comes the Giant. He's in the ring. The ref is down. Hogan's going to take the big boot. God damn. Giant getting knocked over the top rope, selling his ass off there. Giant just took the biggest bump of this match so far. He's not even in it. Vincent is going to go high running off the apron, right? Stevie Ray is going to get punched. The referee's on the outside. Man, Big Show.
Stevie Ray is not selling this. We have lost Kevin, and it is just the Robert Halloween Havoc show now. Talk to me, guys. What do you like about the show? What don't you like about the show? What do you like about spending 3 hours with me and Kevin?
All right. Seeing if the stream still works. I was like, come on back. See if Robert pops back in here in a minute. Oh, there you are, Robert. How are you, buddy? What happened there, Robert? I lost you a little bit. You're almost.
No, Kevin, you left. It's you left.
I left. Were you on the stream by yourself?
It said that the stream ended.
When did the stream end? We never ended the stream.
You left, and then it said, "Thank you for being part of the stream."
When did the stream end?
Probably around the time that you think you lost me.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's B Live being B Live. Right?
As Russell Haddock said, yeah, we were reenacting the show going off the air.
Oh, I'm looking at this now, and part of it does go black. I'm looking back at our YouTube stream here for a second, and it does go black for out of nowhere for no apparent reason.
That was all you. I blame you.
You blame me? I blame B Live.
Look at this flash. You got this flash paper. You got the lighter.
Oh, here comes the worst flash paper spot of all time. Oh, it totally blew up in Hulk Hogan's chest and face, and it didn't work. And it's so obvious that it didn't work. And Ultimate Warrior is super pissed, and he's kicking the flash paper out of the ring. And I believe Hulk said at some point that he is now bleeding. Also probably has his eyebrows burned off. So did he blade himself, or did he get cut from the flash paper thing?
You might have just gotten a little burn.
Oh, we're getting some top rope Ultimate Warrior right now, dude. He was going for a double axe handle, but switched to a clothesline midair. Man, the crowd is completely out of this match.
This is a sin.
Did you see that last top rope move that he did? Because he couldn't nail it. He was 2 feet away. In midair, he just reaches over and pats. Oh, another nut shot. We're in nut shot city, dude. Sin City. Always.
My God, ring the bell.
This is so sloppy. So he went off the top rope and he patted Hulk Hogan on the head. And he hit him in the nut shot, and he gave him the worst short clothesline of all time, and then gave him a leg drop, and he's going for a leg drop. Who's coming down to the ring? It's Horace Hogan, Hogan's nephew. And he missed the leg drop. Man, this is off the rails, dude. This is the third match in a row with two big superstars in it, right?
Yeah.
Where they just don't want to just let the match be the match, because everything has to be 50-50 booking, and no one wants to actually just completely lay down for someone without some dustiness to it. And
That's
here
ridiculous.
comes, and here's Hulk is trying to bump and feed, and Hulk took a lot of punishment in this, a lot more than he has in other matches. Here is Eric Bischoff after we've already had Nick Patrick go down in this match, and Horace Hogan
literally choking the referee.
And Horace Hogan slams Warrior with a chair, rolls him up, pins him.
Got the tights too, for good measure.
And Eric Bischoff is involved in it, and that is a travesty. Here's the thing. I don't hold this against people, they're trying to do something, and maybe they wanted to do more matches. But if this is the final match you have with Ultimate Warrior on your deal,
I'm pretty sure that's his last match, in America.
He would do a match overseas in 2008, 10. He wouldn't wrestle for another 10 years.
No, I in America though, that's the last we get of the Warrior.
Yeah,
that's a sin.
And you can say whatever you can say whatever you want about Warrior. It's bad that this is his final, his final big time match in North America. Horace Hogan, never a pillar of charisma. Wow, they do have a close shot of the staples on his head.
Oh,
are they gonna try and burn?
Oh, good God!
Because we haven't done enough on this already.
Well, he did say he was gonna kill him. Doug Dillinger is ready to be a wrestler. Doug Dillinger. But he
Why,
said that.
why is some dude in a polo who just works for WCW, not a wrestler, saving the day? And why is Eric Bischoff, the head of the company, be like, no, I want my chance. I want Hulk Hogan to burn this other human being with fire.
I hate this.
What is this? Who? Like, you have so many really, really talented people, right, involved in this. Bischoff is involved. Warrior's involved. Like, all these different people. And you got to think at some point that they had to know in that match something was wrong. And they've been open about it. Hulk's been open about it, how the flash paper thing didn't work and how much.
There's less than 20 minutes left, and we still haven't even gotten Goldberg in the ring yet.
Yeah. And, and specifically Bischoff himself went on the record as saying that this match pretty much stunk up the joint. He went on the record for saying, and however, he dismissed the notion that he hired Warrior solely to lose to Hogan so Hogan could get his win back, claiming that's not true. A lot of people thought that, though. And of course, WrestleCrap, very, very popular website that would just roast things like this, disputed Bischoff's claims, later writing that WCW hired Warrior at great expense in May of 1998, specifically to massage Hogan's ego. What do you think of that? Did they bring in Warrior just so he could lay down for him? Because it wasn't like he got jobbed out in this thing. I mean, the thing was a mess. It was a mess, but you can't say he got jobbed out. Bruce Buffer getting paid a whole lot of money to come down and do these big intros.
I love, first of all, Bruce Buffer. No, that's Michael Buffer.
Michael Buffer. Bruce Buffer is his brother that works in.
You got me feeling a little kooky here, Kevin. Kooky. Michael Buffer's a godsend, but let me just say, I don't know if that massaged anybody's ego.
He's mentioning all of the ringside doctors.
Damn right he is.
Like, this is a boxing.
Damn right it is.
You see the dude in the back with the in the shot who has a Kango hat, an NWO Kango hat backwards.
Amazing.
What is this show?
Goldberg fears Mario.
The Nintendo 64, very popular at this time. Hogan, we were talking about how bad that match was. We're talking about how bad that match was. Hogan was speaking with the 20 greatest WCW matches of all time. This is not one of them. Has gone on the record, though, as stating that this should have been a great match, but that it's all on him. Hogan takes all the blame for this not being what it was supposed to be.
Bro, we needed to get ready to rumble like 45 minutes ago.
They should have Buffer come out in the middle of the show just to pop the crowd. Just have him. Don't do another Nitro Girls.
I think Buffer's done a better hype job than the Nitro Girls.
Cool. I mean, Vegas, they love him, right? He's always there for the big fights. Wow, big bang intro there for Diamond Dallas Page. Look at Diamond Dallas Page running up into the crowd to do it to walk out and like work from the commentary table and like run around the set and stuff. Good on him. Yeah, is he gonna go up to the other side of the crowd? He's gonna go through like the WCW.com area and stuff.
When I learned that he was like 45 here or whatever.
He started wrestling late in the game for a wrestler. He was involved in wrestling and was a manager, had the Diamond Club at some point in the 90s, and, went into the wing of Dusty Rhodes and different people and started wrestling at 35, which is kind of crazy, That's very, very hard to do, but you got to say he's one of those in-house guys in WCW that got himself over. Got himself.
Page is so
over.
good. It should be a sin to be that good at that age. Oh, this lady.
What did her sign say?
Diamond, the people's champion.
Rules. A lot of people said rules with a Z.
There was a lot of rules with a Z. Some had the E, some didn't have the E, but they all had the Z.
I believe one person had a 2-part side that just had different wrestlers, and then they had rules underneath it.
This chick was.
Did you see there's several Goldberg signs, right? But I did catch a Getting Oldberg.
I like that.
You gotta love jaded wrestling fans at that point. Listen, Goldberg's doing an
I
intro.
see a Goldberg South Park.
Here's the classic Goldberg intro where he has to have state patrolmen walk him to the ring. Doug Dillinger has had a busy night. Doug Dillinger pounding on the door, walking him out there.
There's badass Doug Dillinger with
Doug Dillinger, who prevented a man from being burned. No big rat. No, where was the disciple? Where was the disciple that was supposed to? Where was the One Warrior Nation? Why did Doug Dillinger of all
giving
people
somebody a haircut? Maybe
he's strutting and cutting somewhere in Vegas.
I'm worried about Goldberg's mental faculties. I know he just headbutted a door.
Did he just do that beforehand? Is he bleeding from the head?
No, he does that all the time.
Have you ever seen the video of the product placement of Surge, the high caffeine cola? That was a product placement in WCW, and him.
I'm pretty sure Goldberg would just inject Surge into his veins.
He headbutts a vending machine that's in Surge on it. He's trying to get something out, and then he headbutts it. And of course, the pop comes out, and then he drinks the pop. And he goes, "Oh, it's pretty good." He walks away. It's such a 90s. It's such a 90s bullshit thing. Dude, we've had some ridiculous stuff on this show.
This is going to be the most straight up wrestling match. Oh, look, it's a foam, like a blow up. The whole thing's a blow up. Hell yeah!
This pyro entrance for him was always cool, but I always worried about him that he would breathe in all that smoke and puff it out because he wanted to be.
The sparks would land on the wrong thing, and they're
like, how do you not get burned by all that?
Adrenaline, maybe. Surge.
Doug Dillinger is right there in the shot.
So now we know why he was good at stopping people from getting burned.
Warming up with some European uppercuts. $154 unfortunate souls. Goldberg for president. What is on the Goldberg platform for president?
Surge.
We need a surge. We do need a surge right now.
What's your plan for the economy, Surge? What's your plan for terrorism?
Jackhammer. Two spears maybe, but a jackhammer. Done. I'm voting for you, dude. I'm going to the polls for Goldberg. The unpredictable nature of the Diamond Cutter. They're basically saying, hey, Diamond Dallas Page, he's got one move. And this guy has got two moves. Buffer intros do make it feel like a big time thing. WCW did a good job of that. Oh man, they don't have much time left on this show. So even without the pay-per-view cutoff, right?
They only go for about 9 minutes. Well, Goldberg can't wrestle for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, because he didn't have many finesse long-term matches in his career at all, But that isn't part of the attraction. This crowd is on board for Goldberg right now. That's dumb man. Did you hear Bobby Heenan say that?
He did. He's a dumb man.
Because he's dumb man.
He knew it.
That sounds like a line in his ear. Big arm drag there from DDP. Look at that. I got you to go off your feet. Oh, I always loved when guys would tangle up and go through the ropes. I always thought that was a kind of a cool way to sell that they were locked in horns. They just did that there. These guys have the most going for them right away at the beginning of this match. Not since the opening of the show with Jericho and Raven earlier.
Yeah.
Goldberg. They don't have to dub that in on this one, huh?
You never know.
They did that at some point, though, right?
Yeah, because they were saying Goldberg sucks.
Oh, people would do that. You would say someone's name and then you added sucks at the end of it. You get your sucks hat, your SUX hat at where do you get that at the mall, Robert?
Lids.
Go to Lids. It's right next to the Cinnabon. This is Goldberg now trying to do a leg lace. But this is definitely like him like trying to work in his MMA stuff.
Yeah, and UFC at this point it's in its like toddler stage.
Yeah, but he was into it. And also the way he sells stuff when he like takes like the shutter jabs and everything, he sells it like he's eating spicy food. He doesn't sell it like it's pain. He sells it like he's annoyed. Also, Diamond Dallas Page with the fluffed out hair.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I was never a fan of short hair DDP.
You never like short hair DDP?
No.
Always like long hair DDP?
Well, I just like it. I like long hair. That's my thing, you know? Yeah, cool hair.
You're in with Robert. You're over with DeFelis.
Yeah, like
man, what have they done to this crowd and this show and this promotion and the people they had? And you think that this was a money-making property that
you know what? I'll go as far as to say you can make fun of 1995 all you want, and the Dungeon of Doom and the they have a monster truck match. I would have been more enthusiastic by the end of that show because that show doesn't drag. This show has absolutely sucked the wind out of me.
Yeah, and there's so much about this show that seems so odd because at the time that was their big hook is we're gonna move the needle, and that and then WWE responded with the Crash TV style and the things that Vince Russo was producing and more attitude, but pacing. This show's been paced really poorly.
It's not about the Attitude Era. It's not about the. I hate when people do that. Well, the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
And Vince Russo will come on.
No. People hold that on a pedestal. It was just very popular. Wrestling.
No, like Vince Russo will go on a podcast and go, "Yo, I figured it out because I understood that I knew that The Rock was going to be The Rock." And it's like, yo, it's not about that. It's just, hey, this shit resonated with people. It's not because of your Crash TV garbage. It's because the characters were good.
Characters.
Like you don't, you know what I mean? Like The Sopranos worked because James Gandolfini was good in that role. Like you can't just put anybody in that role, and that's what they would try to do later on. Like, oh, we'll just have our own Rock. Booker T can be The Rock.
Russell mentioning the crowd reactions back then, saying back then the audience was an audience, spectators, crowd. He's absolutely true. The crowd reactions here are quite loud, even
and I told you early in the show, like I'm not a fan of the whole, like, hey, let's get ourselves over.
That was a big thing. Now it was a big thing at this time. It was pre-internet. This is like internet's just starting. Did you see that suplex? He did like an arm, like a hip toss into a suplex. It was nuts.
Yeah.
He had such like voracious power that you could buy into. And it was so exciting to see him just whip people around. Even though it wasn't clean and it wasn't like proficient or technical, the appeal of Goldberg is the power, just this unrelenting power that he oozed. He didn't have to say much. He didn't have to do much. You just bought into it, you know?
Yeah, people want to see badasses. Like, it goes back to, John Wayne.
But here he is trying to like roll and do jujitsu. It's like, why are you doing this, dude? They are trying to slow the pace of a Goldberg match down and make it more of a main event here.
Because he's got to start wrestling at some point. Like,
yeah, I mean, you can't just destroy everyone in 3 minutes and be like an attraction that continues to deliver for people, you know? Tony Schiavone saying no one wants to get in the ring with him. He's nuts.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh my God. Not the cleanest Hurricane Rana, but
Did
DDP giving it to
DDP
him.
just do a tilt-a-whirl head scissors? That's weird.
Yeah, he did a tilt-a-whirl head scissors, and Goldberg nearly crowned himself, like trying to sell it, and then gave him a Sabat kick, and then ran, and Diamond Dallas Page got out of the way, and
They
of
have
course
5 minutes.
Goldberg runs,
and I'm not talking about like the match. The show has 5 minutes,
and went right into the ring post here. Tony Schiavone saying, best way to stop a runaway truck is to step out of the way. That doesn't stop the truck. You just got out of the truck's way.
No, but it saves you.
You're absolutely right. I do like that Diamond Dallas Page is like trying to find ways to like work around it and stay in this thing and understand that I don't think I can beat this guy, you know? But and Goldberg having the upper hand, and they're both baby faces here, and they both feel over. Oh wow, DDP with that flying clothesline off the top rope. Two don't get you three. Robert, do I owe you anything for making you watch this whole show on a Sunday?
No. I mean, like, I thought this show was better.
It is not aged well, right?
No.
I think all of these guys have had better matches.
Goldberg, maybe not.
Maybe not. That DDT was really cool. That DDT they just did was really cool in terms of finish, in terms of like showing Goldberg's power against himself. That's a good storyline. See, like this is simple. Like this isn't like they didn't complicate anything. You know what I mean?
Well, they didn't have
big spear. That spear is just drilling people, just wrecking people. Goldberg selling all the damage he's done to himself, and it's almost like DDP is making him hurt himself, making Goldberg hurt himself. You know, just the power of it all, right?
Yeah.
But this is so much more compelling than anything else on this show. And think how mad you would be, how outraged you would be if you dropped $30 on this in 1998 and you didn't get this main event. And you were a 15-year-old kid to convince your dad to do it.
You know, at this point, if I'm the parent, I'm like, yo, this show was dragging anyway. And now, like, I'm mad because I wasted my money.
Goldberg really mess up that arm?
No.
Or is he just selling it? Oh, he's going to try and sell a one-arm jackhammer. Can he do it? Oh, are they gonna do a diamond cutter and he'll just spring out of it? Oh, there we go. Big diamond cutter, and the crowd goes nuts.
Look at the referee. The referee sold it too.
Yeah, Mickey J selling that too. The crowd goes nuts. Him revert. And that wasn't even like the most athletic thing. It was just one big move reversed into another big move, right? And they wanted to see a diamond cutter and they wanted to see a jackhammer. They got one first. Now you're counting either one guy out, right? See, this, how much better is this than the 3 matches that stunk up the place? There was supposed to be each one be a main event with Sting and Hart. And here we go. 1, 2. Goldberg kicks out of it. And listen to that crowd go nuts. How on board they are for both these guys and how simple they make this. A big match, move for move. A big showdown, right?
Right.
And can he hang in there with Goldberg? Can he survive with Goldberg?
Nope, it's over.
Not the cleanest jackhammer here. Is it the greatest match of all time? No.
It might be Goldberg's best match of all time.
It may be one of Goldberg's best matches, especially after winning the title. Up there with the Hogan match. The Hogan match where he wins in the Georgia Dome is like, it's insane.
Hold on, I'm being asked why I support Vince Russo. I don't ever recall the words coming out of my mouth that I support Vince Russo. I mean, I'm a fan of I think the guy's got some points, but he needs a filter. And I happen to do a bit where I can sound like him because I am also from New York. So I can just I can kick into that New York accent.
People talking about how brutal the crowd was then. People talking about how Goldberg looked badass.
40 seconds.
All right, and then they have the nice like, hey, you gave me a good fight here, that type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Look how much story this tells efficiently than everything else on this show. and both guys look like a big deal. Diamond Dallas Page doesn't look like a dork, Ultimate Warrior looked like a dork at the end of that match, and Hogan didn't look great either,
Yeah, I know.
And then they
7 seconds.
And do they get cut off here?
Yep.
I wonder if they edit that into the show here.
They just cut it off.
They just cut it off. Now, mind you, we get the WWE Network.
That was the extension, Kevin.
Yeah. So we got the extension of it here. But this was this wasn't a good show. This is one of those things where WCW definitely had attractions during their time when they started to compete with WWE that could have been fantastic, right? That they created. They had Hogan and Flair Bash at the Beach in '94 when they got Hogan over there. It was a fun match, but it was overcooked and had a bunch of different outside interference things. Right?
Eric Bischoff has since admitted that WCW had a terrible track record for finishes. And after watching this show, I have to say, I've never seen so much crap finishes. Just like everything was a hat on a hat. Because there were in my mind, it says they had to be so worried about going to the next thing.
Mm-hmm. And I will say that Goldberg DDP match was fun. You had two guys that are really, really over. The crowd reactions were with that more than anything else on the show. But this show was sold on Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior, right? Even though maybe more fans were looking forward to Goldberg and DDP. But that underdelivered, and that's the calling card of this show, WWE.com, of course, they run this show through the mud, saying, but because the bout between Hollywood, Hulk Hogan, and Warrior dragged on, pay-per-view providers ended the broadcast at 11 p.m., just as the world title got underway. The next evening, Monday Night Intro, WCW apologized for the broadcast mishap and aired the entire bout for free. That's the thing that people will remember about this show, is that it just was so off the rails. And then you think of what people were seeing at the time when it happened, while wrestling was so popular. Such a misplay by WCW at such a critical time when there's so many more fans watching.
Yeah, it's very strange to me. Again, as I said at the start of this watch along, the WWE narrative is so unfair.
Yeah, it is.
But this was not a good show.
No, you can't. This is an unequivocally bad show, but it's interesting to watch it at the time because you think of that's Warrior's last match. That's Ultimate Warrior's last match on North American soil, and it's kind of interesting that's what is left of this show. It's one of Goldberg's best matches they had in WCW on the show that had all these different issues. If you enjoyed this, thank you. Thank you for consuming it, watching it, listening to it. If you had a good Sunday night with us, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. All right. Go ahead and share the link. Go ahead and pass it on. We'll be with you Monday night after Monday Night Raw. We'll have some different pop-up videos throughout the week as well. We're going to add some additional breaking news videos during the day.
VH1.
What?
We don't work for VH1.
We don't work for VH1. We're going to have some breaking videos for you throughout the day and all those different things. So make sure your notifications are on YouTube, on Facebook as well, so you can get all that stuff from us and get all that content. Plus, subscribe to the podcast. Robert, I know you're busy doing what?
Oh, I have plugs. All right, cool. Add Dude Felice on Twitter. I will be on the Wrestlezone podcast this week with the wonderful Renee Fierro. I will be doing probably the Monday Night Raw Pro show. I said probably because, who the hell knows? Tuesday, I'll be here with Kevin. Thursday, I'll be here with Kevin. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm in the zone doing the news. Wednesday and Friday and Saturday, I'm on Smart Out Moment. And then Friday through Sunday, I'm on the Fightful doing the news. And then Wednesday nights, I'm doing the Wednesday Night War podcast with Alex Pawlowski and Sean Ross Sapp. So that'll be a good time.
Sean Ross Sapp.
I will say this, even though that this particular show was a drainer, I'd do it again. I wouldn't do this again.
Buddy.
with this particular show. We could do like a 96, maybe a 93, maybe, but I would sit down and watch pay-per-view with Kevin.
I've heard of Halloween
any day of the week.
89 is a fun one.
I would watch a pay-per-view with Kevin any day of the week. This is just me hanging out with a buddy.
I don't know what tastes better, your compliments or this Dr. Pepper. Thank you so much, Robert.
I'm sure it's my compliments. Thank you.
You can follow me at Kev Kellum on Twitter. You can follow at WrestleZone.com as well. I will be live on stage, socially distant and safe, at the beloved rock venue Shuba's. Let me just tell you this weekend, streaming online on YouTube, and you can catch it. It just dropped, even if you weren't watching it live, was the Save Our Stages Festival. All 3 days of it streaming for the National Independent Venue Association. Across the country, more than 90% of independent music venues are in danger of closing for good. The pandemic is dragging on. These are some of the first places that were closed because their businesses are built on close-knit social gatherings, which obviously are not safe to do right now, and we can't really do. So these are venues that are in danger of closing for good. And more than $12 billion is tied to this industry from coast to coast. That is a real fact. And 90% of those businesses could close, and they don't have government aid right now. So you can go and watch those streams and donate in the stream. It's available on YouTube. Search Save Our Stages. I'm asking you to donate whatever you can. All right. These are places I've been able to work at through 101 WKQX in Chicago, places I've been able to perform at. And there are places with friends that work there that I'm very, very concerned they're not going to have jobs soon. Some of those friends have been furloughed since March. So they haven't worked, and that job could not be for them there on the other side of it. I know this is a weird thing to bring up at the end, but go ahead and check out Save Our Stages. Watch sets from Rise Against, Foo Fighters. Miley Cyrus did a fun set where she did some covers.
Was that where she was like doing the she did the zombie?
Yeah, she did Cranberries Zombie. It was a really fun cover. It was a fun set.
I've seen that going around Twitter. I like Miley. I got nothing against Miley. I like Rise Against. I love the Foo Fighters. Yeah. Go watch that. Go support wrestling. We'll be here tomorrow. I'll be here. I'll bust John Clark's balls because he's like, I want to go back to the show. Then I'll just tell him no. I'll just tell him no to bust his balls. I like having fun with you guys. Kevin is, at this point, I see and speak to Kevin Kellum more than most humans, and
we've never been in a room together.
I don't know what that says, but Kevin, here we are at the end of a 3-hour and 16-minute show, and I want you to know that I would do it again.
Love you, Robert. Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate it. It's a tough time for everyone out there. We hope that these little things that we do, even though they're a little goofy, it's just a fun escape.
Why is it a tough time? What are you talking about?
What?
What are you talking about? Why is it a tough time? The show wasn't that bad, Kevin. It was an okay show.
I'm talking about reality.
What? This guy's over here in reality. Like, we didn't just watch the One Warrior Nation for 3 hours and 16 minutes. All right, guys.
We're done. We're done.
You guys trying to bring up reality. Goodbye.
Goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow. Wrestling. We'll see you tomorrow after Monday Night Raw. Keep an eye out for some pop-up breaking news videos as well.
Reality.
Thank you so much.
Pop-up video. You don't work for VH1, Kevin. What is this pop-up video? Like, we doing music videos? What is this?
You're just going into it today. Huh? It's people saying you watch paint dry. Look at this kid go off on you.
I don't know. Golly, I would take that compliment from that person. I know he thought he was insulting me, but I thank you for watching.
Thank you guys so much for watching throughout the night. Thank you so much.